live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black.
All right, all right, all right. We here
You already
again.
know,
You already know what it. You already know what it is.
Live,
Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and what?
And shame the devil.
And what?
I love being black.
Yes, I do. I love black folks. Come on in, people. We're live, uncut, unedited. This is your boy Martin G. We're giving you a weekly report of different crimes in the city of Chicago. I'm hearing that at least 4 people are already dead today. And I believe it was in the 80s today. People, to be aware is to be alive. No one wants to believe that they can get gotten. Stay out of the way, people. Stay out of the way. Be cautious. Be cautious. This is real. This is real. This is real. Come on in. Come on in. I appreciate you guys. Good seeing you guys. And we're ready tonight to fight for the truth. We got to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what we on tonight. And for those of you that are on here, please share the video, share live. Those that are on YouTube, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube at Martin G. Martin G. Johnson. I'll be happy to have you over on YouTube. I might block you on Facebook, but you still get opportunity to see me on YouTube. That's even better for you. So I'm hopefully that you guys will follow me on YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook, wherever you may be. It's okay with me. This is live, uncut, unedited, where we tell the truth and shame the devil. We have a exciting show today. We're going to be talking about Chicago crime. And I'm hearing that I think a female got shot today. And I'm not exactly sure, but I believe a female got shot today. So it's a lot going on, people. Just, man. And, you know, we always use that term black on black crime, but it's not just only black folks killing folks out here now. So you get out of that myth. Get out of that. That's real talk. We're not the only ones shooting and killing. We're not the only one arguing out here, carjacking. Well, somebody said, well, Martin, well, that's all I see in the news, because all what you see in the news is not always true. See, what the news does, it promotes things that people want to see, and that's violence, negativity. See, positivity, it doesn't sell. It doesn't get much views as the negative things. You say, well, why is that? Because the Bible said men love darkness rather than light. They love it. They love it, people. So we want to wake the people up. Wake the people up. Yeah. Wake them up. Yeah. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. I love being black. Come on in, people. Get started. I appreciate every last my guests coming on in, my YouTube folks. They coming on in little by little, but I appreciate you, YouTube. Don't think I don't. Crime Chaser page, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Twitter X. Y'all just come on in, and YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my page. Yeah, make sure you do that. That'll be great. That'll be great. I'm live, people. Live, uncut, unedited. Real talk. We got a lot going on, and we want to make some noise. Make some noise. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Just trying to get warmed up so some folks come in. But if their children are missing, they are all over the network. Yep, that's true. Hello, God, but Beverly, what's going on? Sharita, how you doing? These kids are young as 12 years old, out in these streets, robbing, carjacking. That is so true, Paulette. I mean, we don't want to, for some reason, we don't want to face that as parents. I don't know why we in denial. Why are we in denial, parents, that our young folks out here getting down like that? Renee Jackson, how you doing? What's going on, Brother Martin? People have to be watchful and stay on point. Move with cause. You have to, people. You have to. Marla Williams, it paints a bad picture for black. Yes, it does. It does. It does. But some of us, we know the truth. We definitely know the truth. Come on in, people. Come on in. Make sure you share this live. All right. The phone lines are open 872-299-0808. 872-297-6389. The number that you see right above my head, that's the active number. So come on in, people, and share your opinion. Don't be talking about people that always call in. If you don't call in, hey, people going to call in. What's up, Vicky? How you doing? Yeah, this is live uncut. Come on in, people. I'm here to stay. It's a lot going on. Barbecue, what's going on? Much love and support. Ruthie Whitehead. Hey, Martin G and everyone. All right. Latasha Marie, what's going on? And Kenny Nicole on here. All right. Crystal, what's up, Miss Crystal Daniel Rogers? How you doing, woman of God? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you, people. We don't have to listen. Right now, we don't have to wait till summertime. Summer's here already when it comes to crime. The weather is 80-some degrees here in the city of Chicago. People are getting shot. I'm telling you. Well, what's up, Lisa? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you, people. I see you. I see you. I see you. All right. Nitra, what's going on? How you doing, sister? Vicky Gavins, I see you. I see you. All right, I'm looking for some new callers too. 872-299-0808, 872-297-6389. The numbers that's over my head, that's an active number. Come on, call in, people. That is an active number. So I need you guys to call in and let's talk about Chicago crime. And I'm willing to listen, Shannon, or some missing people. If you got a missing loved one and you want to come on here and talk about them, that's okay with me too. This is a perfect airway to do that. We about missing people. I don't care if it's a child or a teenager or an adult or a senior. We all want our loved ones to be safe. What's up, Nisi? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. All right. We're going to get started. And there's a lot of things going on out here, people, that we need to set the record straight. And let me just say this before we get started, people. I think I got enough people to get started. Let me just say this. I believe that crime here in the city of Chicago is stemmed by hatred, arguments, jealousy, gossip, gang banging, robbery, all above. And some of us, Kenny Nicole, I see you. Some of us, we just love drama. And I'm beginning to believe that some of you parents in your 30s and early 40s, you up with that gang banging stuff with your children. Yep, you up with it. You up with it, OG Reese. And retaliation. That's right, Reese. That's a good one. Retaliation. You up with this gang banging. All right, we got a couple of callers. Number one call, first caller is 0069. I believe that's Dr. D. Then we got another caller right after her. All right.
Hey, hello, everyone. Hello, good evening.
Hey.
I'm waiting on Dr. Pastor Ederson to come on. He's getting ready to call, so I want him to speak before I speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, next call is 0806. Come on, caller. Raven Harris, I see you.
Good evening. Good evening. You say 0806?
Yes, sir.
This is Pastor Anderson. Good evening.
How you doing, Pastor? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you again for having me, you and Dr. Z. and you said something that was so vital. You said a couple of things that was vital. The first thing you said, there's so much going on. The second thing you talked about was the role of the parent in what's going on.
Dr.
There
Anderson,
is-
you have an echo in the back.
Hold on, this is probably me. Hold on,
In the
this hold on, we
background.
get it. This
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Don't worry about it. Let me get this. All right, say something. Test it, 1, 2, 3, Doc. Say it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
How's that, Doctor?
Yeah, you can still hear him. You can still hear him. It's echoing.
All right, what about now?
You can hear myself too.
Well, what about now?
Okay, let's see. Okay, no. Well, it's a little bit, but not too bad.
Okay, go ahead, Pastor.
The role of the parent in the community is so important right now. The disconnect between the parent and the child is being evident in what we are seeing today. Just right here on the west side of Chicago over the weekend, 2 children, 2 babies, I believe 13 and 16, something like that, lost their lives because children driving a car high speed lost control. The increase in marijuana smoke that is taking place in our young people is ridiculously high. And because of that, and a lot of people don't want to talk about the reality of it is this. It's causing a lot of damage to the brain. It's a substance control. However you want to talk about it, it's a substance control. It's causing the young people to stand outside of these establishments asking any and everybody to go in and buy them a blunt so that they can smoke it. And you asked a question or you made a statement about the involvement of a parent, and let me suggest that their involvement sometimes is not as a parent, is as a friend. They're trying to be what the child wants versus what the child needs. And so as a result of that, we are seeing what we're seeing now. Mass shootings. We're not even into summer yet. And we're embarking upon a Memorial Day weekend, and God have mercy. We can only brace ourselves and try to prepare our hearts for what we're going to see transpire in Chicago. I worked for the city, and while I was at work, right on the west side, 17-year-old took her life. Dealing with the pressures of life, whatever it may have been. And then you have a society that don't want you to bring mental health awareness to our community because they know a healed us is a better us. A healed us is a together us.
I like that.
And so you're fighting other entities outside of our community, but then you have the ones right here in our communities who won't stand up and do what they're supposed to do as parents, as leaders. And so we're in trouble. We're in trouble because I heard you mention the 20 and 30-year-olds or the 30 and 40-year-olds, but it's sickening and sad to me because you have 50 and 60-year-olds who still trying to party with the 30 and 20-year-olds. And so because of that, there's no wisdom that's being passed down. Because of that, there's no guidance that's being given.
Pastor, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What is it you think as Black people, I'm speaking as a Black people right now, what it's going to take for us to really come down on these violent crime acts in our community. I know we're not going to be able to stop everything because we know it's a sinful world. We know that. But what is it you think we could do or say, or, what is it you think we need to do?
Again, I believe we community leaders need to stand up. I believe that the individuals inside of the community have to take a stand. That's number one. I was sharing with Dr. Z earlier. There are some who just feel like there's no hope, but there are a group of them that's looking for guidance. They're looking for a way out. They're looking for help, and we have to be reachable. We have to be approachable, and we have to be willing to be that individual. There was a group of guys standing on the corner. I was driving my 18-wheeler at the time, and most folks were talking about them saying this, that, and the third. That's not my agenda. That's not what I do. I went to reach out to them. I went to talk with them. I want to know why you standing out here. I want to know what's your goal. I was able to talk to a few of them. Some of them responded back. I told them, if you go get a CDL, I'll make sure that you get a job. I'll make sure that you're able to provide and do what you need. Out of the group, about 5 or 6 of them, 2 of them come back to me and say, I went and got my CDL, I'm ready. And I kept my word. I made sure that they had somewhere to go find a job, somewhere where they can actually get a retirement plan put in place, somewhere they can make enough to provide for whoever they need to provide for. And so, again, you're right. We cannot stop it. How can we slow it down? Let's go back in these communities and take over. Let's find out why these children are not at home. Sometimes it's not that the parent is not doing that. Sometimes the parent is dead. Sometimes that parent has been lost to gun violence, and now that child has went to a sibling, or that child has went to some other family member who has no guidance, who have no leadership. But the old saying is true. The old saying is still real. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah, it does.
And we trying to put it on Facebook. We are. So Pastor Wright and I did a monthly mental health awareness that he put it on Facebook, and they took his page down.
Did they tell him why? Why did they take it down? Did they give an explanation?
Oh yeah, they gave me a real good explanation. We had a retired sergeant who was at the church at the time, and this has been almost 2 years now. He shared the service. Individual that's not of our community said something on there. It was some comments went back and forth, but he was more so offended at some of the things that Dr. Z and I were sharing about the lack of resources in our community, about the lack of attention that the mental health is getting in our community. And one thing led to another. Facebook sent me a message, told me that they were suspending my account for 30 days because it was against the community standards and rules.
Did you agree with it or try to fight it?
I did. I sent them the letter of appeal and everything, and it's been 35 days. I had to create a new page.
That's a shame. And we try to alert the community that we're trying to help them and give them all kind of resources to help them with mental health, because we do know that there's a lot of mental health and broken homes in our communities, and yet here this Caucasian come on there and say XYZ and report his page. And this just recently happened, and now his page is gone and he had to create another one, all because we're trying to help out.
Now,
that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Hold it. Now, they didn't take they suspend you, but you should be able to get back on. It's been 30 days now. You got to reach back out to them through that page. You got to stay on Facebook, man. You have to stay on the path.
I'm still on Facebook.
I know it, but
still on Facebook.
You shouldn't have to make another page.
I had to. I tried logging back in, and it still comes up. This page is suspended. This account is suspended.
Oh, they got you out of somebody. Must have really lied then. It shouldn't take that long for, Wow.
And that's a shame, because all we trying to do is help the community. And the whole month was a very good month. He had all kind of doctors there and nurses there to help with mental health for the whole month.
Okay, well, how long was the video?
This is a shame.
How long was the video? Was it a lot of videos?
It's one long video. So what I did, instead of having a regular Sunday service, I shut down the entire month of September 2022. And again, I brought different therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists in, and the entire service, however length of time they needed. If it was an hour, hour and a half, that's how long we were on there.
Okay. Oh, wow. So they just recently kicked you off? This just happened?
This happened back in April. Yeah, April 15th was the last day on that page. They kicked me off.
Well, I must have been. Did you download the video? Did you have a copy of the video?
They did not suspend the church page. The church page is still up.
Okay.
Which we just said that they don't want them helping the Black community, and that's just that.
Oh, we understand that. But we got to get that across to the people. The people don't believe that. People don't believe it. A lot of times.
And the video was from 2022.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry, Mark.
All it takes is somebody to report it that don't like you, some racist person or some hater that's right up under your nose, and tell it. They report my videos all the time. And I could be, they say you playing music and then, and they say, it's just the lies after lies. And sometimes you get frustrated, don't want to go through, but I still stand. You're going to have, you'll pass, when you do good, somebody going to lie. They know how to, you got people out here, professional people that know how to lie and get your page taken down. They done tried so many times. When I switched over to my regular page and not to be monetized, they took 5,000 followers. That's okay. I didn't even care. That's okay. I'm going to still put my message. Now I'm free. I ain't got to tiptoe on what I got to say. Because when you get monetized, you can't say this. You can't do that. You can't do it. You know what? Y'all can have that little money. Let me go on and do what I normally do. I didn't get on here for no money. No way. I got on here to tell the truth and shame the devil and help my people. And that's what we got to continue to do, Pastor. We got to continue to educate. And what are other resources that can help our people outside of the ministry, which is good. I believe in medical help, medical science, whatever. It's good for us. Some people, Pastor, they'll never come in a congregation unless we doing their funeral, or they come to see somebody doing a funeral or a wedding or something. So we got many ways to get the message out.
Surprised, Martin. Right. Will you be surprised? We had a lot of people there, and we had a lot of people that was interested in help. You will be surprised. I know we have the half and the half not, but we had quite a few crowd there, and every service people were there seeking out help, like how can I get help, or how can my family member get help? So it is a lot of people out here that is trying to get help. We just trying to reach these young folks. How can we get how can we reach our younger generation so they would not fall by the wayside?
Mm-hmm. Well, personally, I believe the younger generation, older folks don't like the younger generation, period. And we know it's in our attitude. And I tell people all the time, when you listen to this podcast, the way some of y'all older people talk, and young people listen to this, they'll say y'all don't like them, period. I'm sorry. I got to sell it. See, it's good. We say we say we want to help the young people, not coming down on you, Dr. D, I'm just speaking in general, but we do something else. We don't reach out. We got to reach out to our young people. The pastor said he stopped his truck one day and got out and talked to the brother. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to. Don't be so quick to show somebody fighting in Walmart. Don't be so quick to show these negative videos of these young people or the shootings, and don't be so quick to show it. Share some of these young people that's graduating, going on prom, that's got academic achievement. Share them and like them. I see some people, they never share nothing positive. It's always got to be doom and gloom, especially about your own race. Share some black people that have invented some things. Share some church services, some church seminars like the one, Dr. D, you said you and Pastor Anderson did. Those are things that we need to share. Listen, Facebook and social media, which is social media, and the mainstream media, they're going to push all the negative stuff up front about us. They're going to put, listen, they're not going to show a man getting married to his wife. They don't want to see that. It's not no news. They're not going to show a man, a single man, taking care of his children. They don't want, that's no news to them. They're not going to show when a 16 and 17-year-old graduating out of high school at 16 years old, attending college. They don't want to show that. That seems to take a back seat on some of our pages. When I see stuff like that, I like it. I like it. Send a heart or share it, people. We got to push positive images of us out there, people. We don't need to see no more half-naked women. We got enough of that. We don't need to see no more drill rappings. We got enough of those. We don't need to see no naked men and half-naked women and men on Facebook. Let's push some of that positive stuff. You know, some of our young people getting achievements. Young people that's obeying their parents, that's doing right. We don't need to push video games on our children. We need some positive images of our young people. That's what we need to do. We need to see more of that. Because, Pastor, if I didn't know no better, I would think, looking at social media and the mainstream media, I would think we were the only ones out there shooting, carjacking, robbing, stealing, prostituting, gangbanging. I would think we were the only ones doing that. If I didn't know no better.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
But you know the reality of that is this: they have people that cover and protect their community.
Mm-hmm. And we could do the same. We don't have to take up for criminals. We don't have to take up for this, but we can share positive things on our page about our community. We need just more than Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all of them. We need other young, upcoming young men that's doing great things in the community. They got organizations that's trying to do things, feeding the homeless and stuff. We need to see more stuff like that. But it's up to us. You said it earlier. It takes a village. If it takes a village to raise child, it's going to take a village to save our children and save us. We're being replaced, people. We're being replaced.
Brother Martin, if I can say this as well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
One of the things also is that actually being available and accessible to the individuals in the community. Once a month, the church and we're out feeding and clothing. And you'll be surprised how many families, how many young parents we reach that need that help. And then they need someone to talk to. Dr. Z said, shared something, and she didn't get in depth, but I'll share this. That was almost 2 years ago. I am still sending people to her because people are still reaching out about getting their help. But we had to be accessible. We had to be reachable. We had to be approachable. And you just shared something. We have to understand this. We have not always been where we are. I'm a young man. I'll be 36 years old this year. but I am where I am because somebody reached back to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And that if each one reach one and then teach them, then we can help one another grow.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to tell you, Pastor, a lot of us hate young people. We don't like them. We don't like them. I'm telling you, most of my audience is 25 and up. I do have some young people frequent visit this, but I would say, listen to over the couple of years I've been doing this, listen to some of these conversations of these older people. When I say older, including myself, they don't like these young people. They can't stand their guts. They wish the police lock them all up until it come their son or daughter. Now they want the majesty, the judge, to have mercy. See, and these young people know we don't like them. When I say we, I'm speaking as a young, they know that. They know it. They know it. Don't think they don't know it. I see where some of the young people cusses out adults. They cuss them out. I witnessed something like that yesterday. Cussing out adult that's helping you. Brother, they need a transformation of heart out here. The young people as well as the older people. And I'm going to tell you, the Bible said he called the young because they're strong. But I don't want them to be strong and physically strong, but I want them to be mentally strong as well. This is a dog-eat-dog world out here.
Yes, it is.
And Pastor, as I speak, and I always say it, right now, there's some young man and some young lady prepared to drive outside, and somebody got a gun. They want to use it on somebody tonight. The lady might be the driver. She might even be the shooter too as well. Right now, as we speak, all they need, Pastor, is one negative reaction for you and I to mean mug them or cut them off, or they feel like cut off, or bump into them, or have a slight car accident or something. That's all they need. And it's going to justify their mind of pulling that trigger. I'm telling you.
That's right.
I'm seriously. Now listen, my buddy always say, George Blakemore, bless his heart, I think he's in his 80s now. You don't have to call me the Niger word, but you treat me like one. And older folks, and I'm talking, including myself in this, you don't have to cuss out the young people. You don't say nothing to them, and they know your spirit, your vibration tells them that you don't like them. Your action shows that you don't like them. Well, Martin, I don't say anything to them. They be on the bus cussing. I just look at you, but your spirit, they can feel your spirit. They can feel our spirit, people, that we don't like them and we don't want nothing to do with them. I'm telling you, I'm going to go further than this, Pastor. Some of us that got children out here, teenagers out here, we know they out here shooting, killing, and carjacking. I said in one of my previous podcasts that, hey, mama, your son coming in the house with a key fob. And he telling you that he got his friend let him use his car. And you believe him. And you allow him to take you to the grocery store in a car that you know in back of your mind he didn't carjack, possibly shot somebody to get. And that terrible, Pastor, for a parent, a 30-some-year-old parent, allow her teenager to take her to the store in a hot vehicle that he probably carjacked or stole and took from somebody. And listen, the pastors, they can't do it all, people. The psychologists, they can't do it all. The police can't do it all. And matter of fact, let me go a little further than that. The police job, it is not their job to pray with our young children. The police is not a ministry. They are in the business of locking people up and sending people to jail or prison.
That's their business. They're not in the business to give you this long, drawn-off speech. You know better. You got to get it right. They're not in that business. They're not trying to save your soul. I got to tell the truth. 801, turn your phone down. Turn your volume down. 801. Thank you. So people, we need help. We need mental help. Pastor said it. We need it. There's so much trauma going on. We need it. You got the young against the old against the young. They cussing us out under their breath. We cussing them out under their breath. I may use it. I don't encourage, but I'm just saying, just speaking out loud. We need our young people. We need our young people. That's why I support the young people. Do I get upset when the young people out there shooting police officers? Yes, I get upset. Do I get upset when the young people are out there smashing and grabbing? Yes, I get upset. Do I get upset when young people out there shooting in the crowd or innocent people? Yes, I get upset. I even get upset when young people out there having sex with each other. And I don't care if it's consensual. I get upset because I know where it can take them, where it's going to go. Somebody got, I hear echo. Somebody got to turn the phone down. Let me see. Turn 801, did you turn it down?
Yeah.
You got to turn it all the way together. Mute it down. Your Facebook. You can't have your Facebook going. Or YouTube, whatever, which one you want, turn it, mute it. You still can hear me.
YouTube. Yeah, I hear you.
I know you can hear me, but I'm echoed. I don't hear it now. I still hear it. You still got to listen. 801. All you have to do is you got me. You watching me on YouTube or Facebook? Which one you watching me on?
YouTube.
Can you turn it all the way down? Just silence it. You can hear everything I'm saying while you on the phone with me.
I did.
You turned it down?
It's off on mute.
Okay.
It's not me.
Oh, it's not you? Okay. Because I wasn't getting this until you came on. Okay. All right. So, well, matter of fact, everybody that's listening to me, just put your phone on mute. We'll do it that way. That's much better. Then I ain't got to worry about it. Just put your phone on mute. You still can hear me when you put your phone on mute. All right. So what we have to do as listen, these violence prevention organizations, we got to get down on the ground and run and get to these young people. Now, don't get me wrong. We will not be able to save everybody. We're not going to be able to do that. I still hear echo for some reason. For some reason. All right. I hope that's better. But do everybody got their phone on mute? Put y'all phone on mute in the thing. All right. Because I keep hearing that echo. Should not be. Now listen. You got these old men riding around these high schools, mess with these 14, 13, 14, 50-year-old girls. Turn them out. That's another thing that need to be addressed. Then you got some of these parents that's allowing that. How are you allowing a grown man to spend a night over your house in the bedroom with your daughter? Because he bringing you weed and drink. And you turn a blind eye because he feeding your nasty habit. Yeah, you're right, Diana Gaines. Just my opinion. I hear singers talk about the youngsters like a dog. Yep, and you're right. The youngsters talk about it. You're right. You're right. And some of these singers that's out here, you act like you didn't wear a short skirt. You act like you did everything right when you was young. We got to remember, people, we was once 13 and 14 and 15 and 16, 17 for a whole year. Let's not forget that, because we became an adult and mature and more stable in our lives, and we can't stand these young people. I've heard some of y'all say it. Out of your own mouth. Don't like them. And they know you don't like
But
them.
man, you also got to look at, but you also got to look at that they're scared of them too. They're scared of them.
Yeah, well,
They're scared to death of them.
yeah. Well, what about the ones that they nieces and nephews? They scared of them too?
Some may and some may not. Now, keep in mind, there has been quite a few people who have got killed by their relatives, and it might have been a niece or a nephew. You know, it's always it's a sad case that there's a lot of trauma in the black community, a lot. And I'm gonna talk about the black community because that's what I belong to. Okay, so it's a lot of trauma. And you don't know what these elders been through. They done been here. These young folks have not been here. They need to learn how to respect their elders. Now, am I saying I can't stand them? No, I can't. I'm not going to say that because I work with a lot of teenagers. And I got a lot of teenagers together. I'm sorry for the dogs, you guys. I'm so sorry. But they are scared of their nieces and nephews and grandkids, some of them. I'm not saying all. I'm not saying that. But some of these, I'm scared of them. I see them running up with the mask on. All you see is their eyes, and
Now,
you know, and I'm like, whoa, let me get out the way. So you know,
we talk about our nieces and nephews now. We talking about relatives. We should not be afraid of our relatives.
If I can interject,
Go ahead.
I'm bipartisan. I'm right down the middle. I understand what both of you all are saying, and I'm not saying an advocate for neither, but this is a different breed. And the reason why I say be accessible, be approachable, but be wise. Right here on the west side, a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, or a 12-year-old and 16-year-old, somewhere in there, left their mother for dead. Just last week, stabbed her 27 times because she flushed their weed down the toilet.
Okay.
So again, there is a great need for us to come together and assess what is going on in our community, because it's not just young people. And I keep hearing young people. It's not just young people, because young people got to get it from somewhere. There's a great group of individuals born between 1965 to 1975, or 1955 to 1975, who are misleading and misguiding Generation Z and showing them bad ways. And because they did not correct their trauma, and because they did not address their mental health, they're passing it down. And they can't stand them because they see themselves in them.
Mm.
I don't feel like my grandmother, who's 80-something years old, is going to say she can't stand young people, because she understands that young people need help and guidance. They're not coming in this world with wisdom. But that generation between 55 and 75 can't stand them because they can't do nothing with them, because they created the monster.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, go ahead.
I've heard people just on this live right here, come on this live and talk about the young people like a dog. I mean, just nothing and no help. They see them failing, they won't help them. They won't extend their arm to nothing. If it ain't their immediate relative, they won't help them. One thing I can say, when I was out there involved in gang activity, nobody could say that I favor one gang over the other from helping them. I helped everybody and still will help them. When I see young folks, when they reach out to me, I try to be a listening ear
and have the right tone when I'm talking with them. You know, you got to remember, people, even though I'm a father, grandfather, I'm not their father. And sometimes fathers, we talk to our own children a certain way, and it's acceptable. But we can't do everybody child like we do our child. So we got to be a little bit more compassionate and a little bit more understanding and swift to hear and slow to speak, if I may use that term. Principle. We got to do it. We so worried about them telling them pull their pants up instead of say, good morning, good afternoon, sir. How you doing, young man? We just go whisper in the ear, man, pull your pants up. Speak to the brother first. You know, show the brother some love. Acknowledge that you see him. Young man, first of all, I want to say good afternoon to you. But I notice every time I see you, you got your pants, hey, man, pull your pants up. In that tone. And you'll be surprised what they'll do. It's that tone, mean everything. That spirit. You got to have the right spirit. Listen, that same young man that you said that to might run into you in the street, and his homies might want to carjack you, and he remember you. Say, hey, I know him. I know her. Leave her alone. Give her a pass. So we got to look at all this. This can have this is real. This is real, people. So it pays to be nice and courteous and speak. That same neighbor, that ruly neighbor that's gang banging, selling weed on the block, whatever he's selling on the block with the loud music, it's still good to speak. How you doing, sir? Even though he keep you up all night with that loud radio playing in his car, but still speak to him, because you never know when you need him. He might see you get mugged and come and help you. But by you acting ugly and never speak, it turn a blind eye. That's good. That's what he get. That's what he deserve. It can happen. So the first thing, it starts at a home, parenting. Now, parents, the brother pastor said it, between, I think he said 55 to like 6 to 75. I think he said that. I'm not sure. And he right. I was born in 68. And I'm not going to glorify gang banging and dope pushing and dope selling to no young brother. Only message I got to him is to leave that alone. Stay away from that. Try God. That's the message I got for him. Drugs, stay away from drugs. Alcohol, stay away from it. To me, you're no good. I'm telling you. That's the message I got for our young people. Well, did you used to smoke? No. Did you used to sell? Yeah. But I advise you not to do it. It's no good feeling, brother. Trust me. This ain't what you want. You don't ever want to give these people prison time. I've never served prison. I've been in jail before. Never had to serve prison time. And that's a blessing. And I ain't getting this old in life and then want to go to prison. 55 years old. Well, I look like giving them 10 years of my life. I'm past the big century, half a century mark. Let me talk to 801. 801, go ahead. I know you've been holding for the longest. Go ahead. I'm sorry, but I want to hear from you because we got another call or two. Go ahead, 801. 801 area code. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to say this. It's not that the kids, that we are scared of the youth. The youth are into all kinds of things nowadays. I remember working at Job Corps. I worked at Job Corps for 15 years, and we had kids. I live in Clifton, Utah. And we had kids from St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City, all the cities that they were having problems with. When those young people would come in my dorm, the first thing I would say to them is, "Hello, young man, how are you? Welcome to K dorm." Okay, I have several rules that you need to follow in order to maintain yourself here. If you intend on getting your education and finishing and going back home to make a decent living, I am Miss Lemons. I'm the RA, and I run this dorm different. Okay, and I would tell them that I'm not your mother, but I can be your mother. When I close this door, I'm gonna be your mother, and you won't forget it when you walk out. So when I had that dorm for 15 years, running the dorm, those kids were coming in there. They know how to respect the staff, and they came from Chicago, St. Louis, Colorado, California. I had gangs in my dorm. I had gangbangers in my dorm. I wasn't tolerating it. I raised 4 sons, so I know the situation and how they get started with the gangs. I said, I'm not putting up with it. You're going to dress right. You're going to look right. It's best for success in this dorm. You want to pull your pants up. You came here for a job. You came here for a mission. You want to prove to your parents that you're going to make it today. And when you go down that aisle and graduate and put your robe on, when your mother and dad come here from Chicago, St. Louis, wherever they coming from, they're going to see a new person. And I would give them the pass list on Sunday. I said, I tell her, these are all the churches you can go to. And I'm going to give you a list. If you want to go to church and you feel like you need to go to church, let us know. We'll make sure you get on the bus. You got to learn how to, I don't know. It's not that old people are scared of them. These kids are on drugs. Some of them are on drugs. They come from drug-infested neighborhoods, and they scared to go back home. And we have kids from St. Louis, Chicago, Illinois, California that stayed here and brought homes here, have good jobs, have companies. So it can be done. You know, and our churches put together, they make sure those kids felt comfortable. When you're in the church, you got to make sure those kids on this street feel comfortable to talk to you. And it's how you know how to witness. If you don't know how to witness, don't do it. And I'm a church girl. If you don't know how to witness to those kids, don't do it. You got to be skilled. You got to be like a serpent. You got to be like a wolf. But yet you are a sheep. And you're teaching them how to do better for themselves and not go back to the same situation. You don't want to go back to California with all the drugs and the shooting and the fighting? Don't go. Stay here. Do better. And that's the way I tell my boys. I say, don't come here acting all crazy. My boys know. I don't allow certain people in my house. And I say I don't want that kid in my house. That's what I mean. I used to be the police in my house. You got to be the police in your house. I tore up mattresses, closets, clothes, pockets.
Tell the truth.
You got to do some tough love with these kids. You don't play with these kids.
Let me ask you a question. My dear sister. I like what you just said. If I could just cut you out and make about maybe 10,000 of you and put all around in these black communities, boy, I think we'd be a better place. Seriously. But my question is to you. My question is to you, my dear sister. I like that term when you said you got to be the police of your house.
Yes, sir.
Then you said that you tore mattresses and all that. And I preach that. Anybody know that really follow me
I always say, search your child room, the pillowcase, the under the bed, the under the mattress, and all that.
Outside too.
Outside too.
In the basement.
Everywhere. So
everywhere, all over the place. You don't know what they had. I used to work in the dorm. We found guns up in the plants. You know them little plastic plants we used to decorate the dorm with. They had took the plant out of the bucket and put the gun pieces all through the plants. And they was coming here from back east and bringing guns with them and would go to town. And we was wondering who in the heck is going to town robbing people. And I pull them in a group. I said, "Oh no, everybody, it's group time. Let's go. I'm not playing this." But Miss Lemons, I said, "I am not playing with y'all. I'm black and I ain't playing, and I'm proud. And you ain't gonna mess up nothing for the other black kids that are here trying to do what they need to do. But any of these kids, I done dealt with neo-Nazis, everything, all kinds of kids from everywhere, all over the country. And we didn't tolerate it. You gonna get on that bus and go back home. If you can't act right, you're going back home. Now you make your mind up what you want to do. Do you want a career? Do you want an education? Do you want your GED? Do you want to go to college? The Job Corps pays for you for everything. They pay $26,000 a student to go here. And you want to go back to the hood and live a rough life and die on the street in blood, and your mother and dad and them hollering and screaming, "I know I should have let him stay there." Come on, wake up. I used to give them the work some more, and I used to give them the work, so I'm just telling you, and you got to give them the work. You got to let them know. This is what's going to happen to you. We're going to the morgue. And we're going to the prison, and we're going to go talk to prisoners. That's our field trip day. I did it for summer youth here. We had gang problem up here in Utah. We took them on Fridays from the JTPA Cedar program. We took them to the prison so they could see how it was to be in a prison. You want to be a gangbanger? Let's do this. We even had them going to the court, sitting in the courtroom, taking notes. No, you got to take notes. And then you got to tell us what happened when we go to the big meeting, when we have all the youth coming together. They have to talk about what they learned when they went to court. You gotta do some work here.
Yes,
this
right.
is some work. This ain't no playtime. You got to work with these kids. These kids don't know. They need consistency. If you're not consistent, you just wasting your time.
Preach. All right, let me go to the next caller.
With Head Start, I wanted to say this. When Head Start came out, and I was working for Head Start, they told us we were going to have a big fluctuation of fentanyl kids who were on drugs, coming into our centers. And we had to figure out what to do.
Deep. Okay, 0152, I believe that's Marcus. Hey, Marcus.
Hey, Martin. I came in on part of the show. I think I was watching on your Facebook page where you were talking about how they really stand. How to approach them.
Okay.
I've said time after time, it's the way you approach them. You don't approach them in the military way, or you will lose their respect. It's the way you do it. And what I have done is turned it into a joke, like what you advertising for arthritis, or I would say, are you advertising for Oscar? So just come on in. Well, what is that? I said, it's arthritis. It gets in your joint, and you're exposing your body parts to the elements of the weather. You're gonna have arthritis before you get 30. So they pull up their pants that way, and they be laughing, and they'll say, "You funny." But I think some of these kids that's from the street, when you try to correct them for their own safety, they tend to want to show to their friends that they have power over adults. So they'll threaten your life. You don't know what these kids are carrying. It's not that adults are afraid of these young kids. It's that they're carrying weapons on them. They will attack you at mobs, and no one wants to get attacked. I mean, you want to tell these kids to do right, but apparently some of them don't have no type of discipline. They don't have no type of discipline at home, so they don't have no fear of jumping on an adult or simply trying to tell them to do right. I used to work for the park district, and the kids was breaking out people's car windows, and the supervisor couldn't understand why they wasn't busting out mine. I said, well, it's the way you all talk to them when they come in here. You're talking to street kids like they ain't nothing. And so they're giving you, they're letting their anger out on you. Whereas me, I would talk to them like they were somebody, even though some of them tried to punk me. I kept my polite composure to the point that I won the respect of the gang leader that ran that area around that park. And he would come up there and say, you know, I heard a lot about your name. I said, well, is it good or bad? It's good. All of the kids are crazy about you, and you're cool. They can come up here and talk to you about their personal life and what's going on in their life. A lot of these kids are hurting because of the environment that they're in. A lot of them don't come from good homes. A lot of them come from homes that is teaching them how to be destructive. And they don't want that. So they're angry. And I'm not making excuses for bad behavior, but they are angry. They don't know how to behave. Some of them don't. And then you got some who are trying to emulate the other kids. They come from good homes, but they want to get validation from the other kids who don't come. So they go bad and they do bad things. And them the ones that are really kids. The ones that come from good homes are trying to prove themselves to the ones that come from bad homes.
Marcus,
because of the peer.
Marcus, let me say something.
What's the solution to all this? I think the solution, my version of the solution, is to sit down and listen to these kids. They all have stories, and the kids need to listen to us. Some of these kids are listening to the wrong adults. There are adults out here that's influencing them to do wrong, that want them to do wrong, that puts them out here on the street, that puts the drugs and the guns in their hands. They want them to do wrong. Because also when I was a junior deacon at a church, and a lot of the guys, a lot of the young men was coming into the church, they was in a gang, and they was coming into the church because I would take them places. My life got threatened by one of the gang leaders over there. He said, you're taking our stock. And I said to him, I can't help it because they come to church. Well, you need to stop coming to this church, and they'll stop coming. I said, I'm not going to stop coming to the church that I belong to. And he threatened my life, and one of the church members went and got the pastor. You know, I mean, it's people out here that want to help these kids, but some of these kids, they want to do what they're doing. It makes them feel good. They get their validation from the street. And some of these boys are doing it for these girls. These girls are out here doing it. It's real bad.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Marcus, let me interject real quick. One thing I learned with dealing with young people, most young people, they have more respect for you because you're not living in their house. Listen, think about it.
Yeah.
They respect the outsider more so than they respect the one that's taking care of them.
I agree with you. Because I can tell you this, some of the kids at the park used to tell me they hated their mother and father. One boy, I asked him, I said, why do you hate your mother and father? My father always doing SHIT to get locked up. My mother in it with him. And look at you. You can tell you come from a good home. You always have a smile. I said, but the people I work with pisses me off. You wouldn't know it. A lot of them are angry in the environment that they coming up in. They want good. They want to be in a good environment, so they're looking for wherever they can get the love. And unfortunately, they have more respect for people on the outside than they do people in the inside because they're not getting the attention they need.
That's it. That's it. Young people, if you're listening, we love you. Now those old ones
Yep, I
that
love
say,
all of it.
hey, the old ones that say they love you verbally, but they treat you some kind of way differently. We know you see that too. We know it. Listen, it's almost like this, people. Give y'all an example. You can take two young people fighting. Now we know when some people are fighting, you can't touch them because they'll fire, they'll hit you. But if you can get in between two people that are fighting, and most of the time they'll swing around, you won't even hit you. So that's the respect that they have for you. So I'm not saying that every young person's. I'm hearing the echo. I don't know who got. Somebody got their on speakerphone or something. Put your phone on mute for a minute. I'll be talking for shortly, just brief. Hey man, put the phone on mute. All right. Thank you. So young people, they can respect older people, even if they don't respect their parents. And that's real talk. They know who they can line up with and who can't, who ain't gonna play with them. I'm still hearing the echo. I don't know why I'm hearing echo. Let me see. This echo killing me. All right, let me see. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right. These elders got to be better. Somebody, yeah. Mic check. Yes. Everybody got their phone on mute. Because I keep hearing the echo.
Am I on mute?
Put your phone on
Can you
mute.
hear me?
Yeah. Because I keep hearing the feedback. Somebody's phone is not on mute. Let me see something. Mic check.
Martin.
What? Yeah, I know who it is. Hold on, Bill. That's 801. 801, that's your phone. Put your phone on mute. That's you, 801 area code. That's you.
Is it on mute now?
No. You need to be muted. Mute your phone, period.
I know you're pushing the button. Listen, I'm pushing the button. Hold on.
All right. Mic check. 1 2. See, when I hit mute, mic check, I don't hit nothing. It's her. It's 801. Okay, go ahead, Bill. It's her. I had to mute her because I'm tired of hearing the echo. Go ahead, Bill.
Can you hear me, Martin?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I agree and disagree with you about the older people hating the younger people. I think it's more disgust. It's time I get disgusted. And it's just like you say they feel our vibe. We much older. We can feel their vibe probably stronger than they can feel ours. It's a touchy situation as far as approaching them. Marcus touched on it a little bit. One thing about approaching a young adult or a teenager in this day and age, you can hardly say anything to them when they're around their brother, sister, or their friend. They pack animals. So that's the way they roll in pack.
So you telling me, hold on, Bill.
They in they strong.
Bill, you telling me you can't say nothing to them. Now listen, I walked through a pack of young boys.
No. I didn't say.
Yeah, but
no.
We gotta get out of that fear. Yeah.
Because I'll say in most cases, 90% of the time, I give my due respect without even asking, just for my presence. But I will say something to a lot of young people. I communicate with them just as well as I do anybody my age, any group of people. That's just the way I am. I'm not afraid now. I will admit I'm a little bit more apprehensive about what I would have to do
to a young person versus them doing something to me. And I'm not afraid. I don't, but I understand other people being afraid, especially an elderly person living on the block for 40 years. It's been a big change. And a lot of our kids that's in their teens and young adults, people never really touch on it. And I was part of the problem at the time. These kids have had a second generation in a system. You know, grandma ain't the same. You couldn't just go to grandma and auntie house 10 years ago like you could 20 years ago. Oh, she's not stable 10 years ago. So these kids are fighting demons and situations at home that's way different than when I was younger. There was always a dope scene in the neighborhood, alcoholic, whatever. But even though that they had a sense of respect and regard for older people, these kids today.
Bill, man, we living in 2024, brother. Listen, I told if you got a neighbor and you got a teenage neighbor, what's wrong with saying, hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing, young lady? What's wrong with saying that? Even though you know they probably on some bad activities. What I'm saying is that's how you start.
I agree.
Right. You got, I mean, because that same teenager that you don't like, which you don't like what they're doing, I understand that. But guess what? They may can save your life one day when somebody come up on the block and try to do something to you.
Treated like a human being.
Right.
A human being. And, anyway, let me tell you a story. Right before your show started, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he Caucasian. And we were talking about the problems of the world, the United States helping all these other people versus helping what's going on in our country. And I brought up the fact that Black people have a situation that we dealing with, and it's somebody right in our family, right next door in our neighborhood that we could be helping in some kind of way. And I don't mean just monetarily. I mean with conversation. It starts with how you doing, spending a minute or two talking, and then they will be able to accept your criticism. You can't just jump out the door looking at somebody crazy every day and then think you're going to decide to say, man, you need to pull your pants up. He ain't going. And rightfully so. Like you say, you don't even speak to me. You look at me with disgust. But that's a problem that we have. We have to be the village. And if it's don't just look for these organizations. You got to start within your family first.
Yes, sir.
Within your family situation first. Your immediate family, your nephews and nieces.
Yes, sir.
That's where you start. And if it's a neighbor that you can help, just if it's uncomfortable for you, like you said, start off speaking. What's going on with you, man?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just a conversation as a man or a woman. That let them know that you see them and respect them, and generally they will respect you in return. But I don't have no problem. With I don't know, maybe just my aura brings respect.
And that's
even
good
with young guys. You know. But as far as walking up and just telling a perfect stranger, you might get away when it's one. But if it's 2, 3, I would suggest you walk up and say, man, you need to pull your pants up. You know, no, that ain't cool. And like you say, you ain't even never spoke to him.
Yeah. Don't be Superman now. You
have to get some kind of
record. Right. You're right, Bill. You listen.
Mark.
Go ahead, Marcus.
You know, from my experience, I lived in Inglewood. I lived on one block on 69th and Troop. And that area, that gang over there was something else. But how I won their respect, I knew the police would come and shake them down and they'd be gone again. One day I was coming from the store and I saw the police sitting in the alley, tucked behind two garages. So I walked past one of the dope boys, and I can say this now because, you know, I'm not going to get arrested or anything. And I walked up to one of them and said, "You all need to start moving." And he was like, "What's going on?" I said, "The police is behind the garage watching you all. I ain't supposed to be telling you this, but y'all going to be back out here selling dope anyway." So they started moving. What I'm about to say is if you can get to one, you got the whole block. Because they're going to tell the other one, "Oh, that dude right there is cool. If he tell you something, you know, listen to him." Once I did that, these young men were coming up to me telling me why they got out there. And a lot of them come from good homes. They made bad mistakes. Something happened in their life. Somebody that they loved, that influenced them, died, and they went to the streets. And so these are the stories that I heard. I guess what I'm trying to say, if you can reach one, they'll put the word out. Now, will it work for in a lot of situations? No, but it will work in the situations that it needs to work in. Trust me. You said it earlier. One of those youngsters can save your life. It has happened to me many times. It has happened to me many times, and the respect I get, rarely do I get disrespected by young people. I get respect, and I think you saw that day when the riot broke out on 87th, when they was trying to bust out the window at the Chinese restaurant. I told some of the guys, "I'm not going to get your face on camera." And they was like, "We don't care about you. We know you." I had never met those young men a day in my life. So the respect goes all the way around the city. And on the street, a lot of street kids are looking for respect more so than money.
Yeah. And
respect carries weight.
Real talk, I got another call. Let me just say this. If we never interact, as Bill said, and I said earlier, let us start with our nieces, our nephews, our cousins first.
Yep.
Start with the ones that we're more comfortable talking to, that we're familiar with. Then it'll gradually, when you see other young people, we're living in 2024. We're not back in the 60s. We're not back in the 70s. We're not back in the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s. This is 2024. Things are done different. Everybody, if you're in your right mind, like to be acknowledged and respected. But you got your approach has to be approachable. You know, I done filmed thousands of crimes out here. Ain't nobody never put their hand on me. And I got enemies. But I respect people. I respect what I'm doing. I'm not showing no bloody bodies for some likes and views. I'm not going to do it. Because I consider myself, if it was my family member, would I want to show them on the ground bleeding out like that? I wouldn't want that. So when I film with the same mind, to keep the mindset, this could be my loved one. So what I'm saying, if we're going to approach our young people in 2024, our tone has to be right, and let us establish a relationship, a rapport of speaking first. Some of us ride the train every day, and we see these certain individuals every day. We don't never say nothing. We never give them a nod or nothing. We just have our headphones and we just be bouncing and dancing. Then when something break out on the red line, we're looking for help. But that same young man that you see every day, that you didn't speak to, that you threw a nasty vibration toward his direction, guess what? Now he see you getting beat down. He ain't saying nothing by another young person. You know, listen, there are some young people out here that have a conscience. There are some young people out here will listen
if we take the time and talk with them. And everything ain't got to be, I'm going to bust your head, I'm pull a pistol on you. It don't have to be that. Now listen, again, we're not going to be able to save everybody, but those that we can talk and we can stop them from carjacking and smoking weed and drinking and smashing and grabbing. But when we want to take these things away, we got to have something to offer them. Exchange for what they're doing wrong. Even if you use yourself as an example, hey man, listen, bro, I was on that same path you was on. Got me 10 years, man. That was the worstest time of my life, man. Be careful, little bro. Just be careful. You know, when them young brothers come to me and they do stuff, I said, bro, that ain't cool, bro. That's not cool. See them slapping their woman around? No, that's not cool. It's not cool.
You know what I did, Martin?
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw some of them stealing at the gas station right here behind my house. I bought what they were stealing and gave it to them, girl and a boy, and said, you ain't got to do that. I don't know why you doing it. I don't know if you hungry, but even if you're not, you ain't got to do that because you know how these Arabs is. Here you go. They respect me to this day. I'm going to give you a tip. A lot of adults, if the adults would start interacting with the kids on their level, if it's a basketball game or they out there playing baseball, I'm talking about the teenagers, if you interact with them and play with them in their game, in their environment, there's nothing wrong with adult males playing basketball with teenage boys. You organize the game, the pickup game in a way, those kids are going to love that and they're going to respect it. I'm telling you this because I used to do it at the park. I didn't just photograph them. I wasn't an ace ball player. I got out there and made a fool out of myself and played ball with them and got to know them, got to know their names, got to know where they lived at, got to know where they were coming from. And these were kids that was in 5 different games. Once you get to know them and you gain their trust, they're going to tell other people about you, as I said earlier, and you're going to gain that respect. It's not going to happen overnight, but you're going to gain that respect that if you see someone with their pants hanging off their butt, you can walk up to them, but you don't be walking up to them saying it in a military, like they in the jail way, then you're not going to get that respect. But if you walk up to them and say, hey, I know you could dress better than that, you know, you might want to pull up your pants and don't look too cool. And, you know, you on the bus and it's 1,000 people on this bus, elderly women and all of that, babies and all that, you know, and they'll do it. But if you approach them in a mean way, they won't do it. You have to gain a relationship with them, interact with them in some type of sport. Sports bring people to the table. Sports get the conversation started. A lot of our boys play basketball, and they play baseball, and they play football. Interact with them because a lot of them are missing that fatherly love. And being a father doesn't mean being mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the next caller.
Can I say something now? Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, we got another caller. We got another caller. Go ahead, Dr. D. Go ahead. Go to Dr. D.
I'm getting ready to get controversial with all of you.
So you can. I mean, listen.
I'm disagreeing with everyone on this panel tonight.
Okay.
Because how I was taught and raised, you got to earn your respect. You got to gain your respect. And these kids do not respect elders. They don't respect anyone. They don't even know who God is. No. Now, am I going to go up to a child that's 15 years old and tell them pull up his pants? No, I'm not. You talk to the person. You don't talk at the person. Of course. Now, I agree with you all on that. You talk to the person. You don't talk at them. But I'm going to respect you? No. You got to earn that. And I was taught that by my 96-year-old grandmother. No, I don't think so.
A new day.
Earn it.
It's a new day.
It's a new day.
It's a new day.
It's a new day. I get that. But these kids got to understand that is the problem. We are too soft with these kids. They are getting away with murder. They're getting away with robbery. They're getting away with too much. And they have to face the consequences of the things that they are doing. You cannot do this. It is not my responsibility to sit there and raise your child. I'm sorry, it's not. I have my own child.
See,
okay.
Well, see,
Period.
See, Dr. D.
Now, No, it's not.
Let
No,
let me say this.
Because we're
listen,
tired.
Dr. D,
We're up in age.
Dr. D,
we're in our 50s.
Dr.
We're
D.
tired.
If I see a 35-year-old man picking up your 12-year-old daughter, and I live on the block, wouldn't you want me to say something to you? Wouldn't you want me to bring it to your attention?
You might,
I could say, it's none of my business. That's her daughter. I'm raising mines over here. I can say that. But I'm just saying.
Most people do. Most people do.
But listen.
Most people do.
But I'm just saying, we have to be careful. We have to be careful as adults, because we just can't be selfish. When I see.
It's not about being selfish, Martin. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. The parents got to step up to the plate and do their job as parents. I cannot be everywhere. Sorry. I cannot. I got to say about my own child.
But you can't, Dr. D.
That's not fair.
Dr. D, you told me yourself you raised a couple of your nieces or something. You didn't have to do it. That wasn't your child. That wasn't why did you do it then?
Because I wanted to. That was my niece and nephew.
But it wasn't your child, though.
Period. But I still did it.
Okay.
That was my niece and nephew. But
my
I don't
point.
have to raise poo-poo around the corner.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you see somebody that you can help, a teenager might come to you and say, hey, Dr. D, on your block, I'm just saying, just hypothetical speaking, not trying to go back and forth with you, and say, Dr. D, I'm the first generation to attend college, and I don't know nothing about filling out these paperwork. Could you help me?
We're not talking about.
No, I'm just saying. But hold on. What I'm saying is that's help. Even I'm just saying that's help. You listen. We know that you have one child and you love your child, and I know you do. What I'm saying is, if you could extend a hand and help some young person when it's okay, even sometimes when it hurt, you could do that. I mean, I understand every young person.
That's different. No, that's different. That's different. I had a guy on this blog. This is a real quick story. And I broke my neck for him. He was only 15. I begged that brother. He was over here living with his father. His father's older. He was in his 60s. He had a child, later in life. And this young boy out there doing his thing. I said, baby, please. I took him out of poverty, put him in an alternative school. And guess where he at? He was one of the ones that robbed and shot at the police, a police woman on Lakeshore Drive doing the, what's it called? The riot. And I said, are you kidding me? I asked you, I begged you. I'm not talking about those that crimes. He tried, but he got with the wrong crowd. And I tried to help him. I would have him down here working at my house, doing little odds and ends things for me, and pay him so you won't have to go out there and beg for no money or food, because his father obviously did not care. My thing is, I will help any child that wants to be helped. Every child does not want to be helped. They are some people that have demons in their life, and I don't have time for that. We cannot help every child, but I will help those that want to be helped, period. Because there's so many out here constantly talking about kids. Where's their parents? That's the first thing. Where are their parents? Period.
I'll say this, Dr. D.
I didn't birth them.
I said, even though that young man didn't turn out the way you wanted him to turn out, but you did help him. You did help him. You might not look at it that way. Regardless, you listen. Regardless, you helped him though. See, Dr. D, listen. You got young people listening to this right now. Might be sitting out listening to their parents. We listen. Sometimes we got to go out of our way to help somebody and save somebody, because we didn't get it right all the time as young people. If we're going to try to help and save our generation of young people, we got to talk to them, communicate with them. We can't, and I understand how you feel. We got to.
Yeah, it's like, where's the parents? Don't talk at them, talk to them. That's one of my pet peeves.
Right. Well,
people, not at them.
Listen.
That's not cool. Pastor Anderson, are you still here?
No, he's not.
I don't know if he's still here.
No, he's not.
He got to get up in the morning. He has to go to work. My thing is, people, is that I tried. Pastor Anderson sent me like 6 people today, and I had to spread them out among my therapists to see them kids. These are all kids, even some of his nephews. We are trying. I'm tired. I cannot see no more kids. I'm tired. You know, it's like, you all are right. We need a community. We need help. And I'm tired. Like, I'm only one person. I can't see 100 kids a week. I cannot. So I have other people helping me. But it's not easy. You heard what Pastor Anderson said. Them kids killed their mama last week.
Okay.
You know, and then he said these 6 people last week. This is a different generation. Different. It's not like when I was coming up, or Martin or Bill or Marcus. It's a totally different generation. You're going to have some that's going to listen. You're going to have some that's not going to listen. You have some that's rebellious, that's just spicy. They're going to do their thing. And, man, Mark, my thing is for you all, how do we get through the people, the teenagers that do not want to listen?
Well,
And okay, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead.
Okay, Dr. D, first of all, we gave a excellent solution. Build a rapport. Speak. You know, when you see them. Speak. You know, you just have to speak to people. You know, like I gave the example of riding the red line. You ride the red line every day going to work, and you see these certain young people on there every day. Y'all on the same train. You never speak. You never give a nod. Now, one of these little random young boys want to come, snatch your purse, or pull out a gun, wave a gun in your face. Now you looking at the rest of the people, ain't y'all gonna help me? But you never spoke to the young people for them to do that. Your attitude was negative toward them, and they felt their vibration.
Martin, can I say something to that effect?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. You can speak to some of these young kids on the train, and forgive me, but I'm gonna speak their language. I've seen them do it. They will say, "Who the fuck are you talking to, nigga?"
Hey, man.
Marcus, you ride the red line. How often do young people cuss at you? Period. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Not often, but
I know it. It happens. It happens because you know how to relate to them.
Well, you got to be careful how you.
Of course. Of course.
Because some of them are looking for
but that ain't what I said. What I said was, you see young people on the red line every day. Y'all ride on the same train. You never speak to them. You're always throwing a bad vibe. Now somebody on there, a random young person on there, waving their gun in your face or trying to take you or rob you. Now you looking at them for the help. What I'm saying is, you never spoke to them. Now you're looking for their help.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was saying. It's like it's like a neighbor that never speak.
Yeah. Now
he or she needs to jump. By her never or him never speaking, they pride is not going to allow them to ring your doorbell and ask you, could you give me a jump? Because they never spoke. And even if they do, that's what I'm saying. Even if they do, you probably say, no, I'm busy. I got somewhere to be.
Now I see.
That's what I was saying. Right, and you don't speak or not acknowledge them.
Every day, you stand at the bus stop, which a lot of us do, stand at the bus stop with the same group of kids, and we see them acting crazy. Even when we see them acting crazy, hello, how you doing? What school do you go to? What are your grades like? Start a conversation with them in a polite way, and it'll send a different message. You see them every day at the bus stop and on the train. Now you know them by face. They know you by face. Speak. Now I see what you're saying. I'm thinking you saying,
No, that's what I'm saying. Listen, people, listen. When I used to work the dope line, the craziest people that I thought was crazy, guess what? They were paying attention in the dope line, looking straight ahead, had their money in their hand and everything. I said, not this crazy man that bother everybody, be talking crazy. Look at him, he's standing attention. Because see, you could be surprised. People can change their behavior
but it's something you got something they want. You know, so I'm not the one on here to say I got all the solutions and everything works, but I'm giving you 2024 terms. Speak to these young people. They reaching out to us. They crying out. They trying to get our attention, but we just ignoring it. We call them animals. We call them everything but a child of God. These are our children. Every young person out there that's shooting and killing somebody right now, they got a parent, whether it's a foster mother or a guardian, they have somebody and they have a name. They just just appeared in the air like that. They have a name. They have a name. So I'm saying, we know how we was raised. We know we got whooped with the extension cord, the whip, and punish and all. But we live in a different day and time. You never heard about a child calling the police on his parent. You just didn't hear about that. My mama told me, you call the police on me, when they come, you go on with them. That's what she told me. So I knew better than that.
Yeah, we did. When No Child Left Behind
Yeah.
came. No Child Left Behind Act came. That's when that started.
Yeah.
And that's when these kids got out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, but listen, we got to raise them, though. We got to find better ways to raise them. We have to, Doctor. We can't give up on them. We tired. You know?
I agree.
Yeah, we can't give it. Listen. I'm just telling you.
That hurt my feelings.
Well, I'm just telling you. Like I said earlier, if I see a 30-year-old man picking up your 11, 12-year-old daughter, I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say, listen, and it wasn't no Uber driver. I'll say it as an adult, as a friend of yours, I would have to tell you. Now, what you do with it, that's on you. Now, if you don't correct the situation and get on top of it, and you can tell them I told you. Your daughter said, that's the type of guy I am. Let them know I told you. I told your mama. You know, that's how I am. If you leave, or if Marcus stand next door to me, and I know he worked the midnight shift, and he got teenagers in there, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I see they having a party. Guess what? When I see Marcus come on in the morning, or if I got his phone, I'm going to call him and tell him. I said, man, listen, your sons and your daughters in there having a party when you going to work at nighttime. It's only fair that I do that to Brother Marcus. I know he's a good parent. He's going out there trying to provide, but his children are unruly, and I have to tell him. Now, what he do, that's on him.
And that's okay.
But that's what I'm saying. That's getting involved. That's what I'm saying. Something is just that small.
But most people don't do that.
Yeah, they don't do it. Well, they don't do it. All right. Let me go to this one caller. They've been on hold for a long time. Yeah. Let's go 847 area code. Go ahead. 847 area code. Thank you for holding. It might be old timer. 87. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Hello.
Go ahead, brother. You got to talk loud, brother. And we can't hear you.
One moment.
Don't put me on speakerphone either. Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We can't give up on these babies. We ain't gonna be able to save all of them.
So the thing is this conversation should be had with them in mind and with them on the phone also.
Yeah, but you listen, brother. Listen, brother. They might be watching with their parents. We don't know. It's like almost.
I can assume if they was watching, then they would definitely chime in, because when you hear about somebody speaking about you in third or in a third person type way, or as if they know what's going on inside of you, even though a lot of us can relate because we have the same culture, we all black, we see the same things that the media might portray. However, it's personal. It's personalized when you're definitely in it. So that, like the gentleman said, he'll be at the bus stop with these kids and watching them act erratically and whatever. It's a lot of different things. However, these kids or the kids should be in this conversation. That way also it lends a point of view to you all, an aspect that you all might be missing. And that's what I feel it is. Because here we had the other brother talking, and it's the way that we talk about our the kids or our children or the young adults or the teenagers. It's the way that we speak. It's no life in it. It's as if we combatant in an arena where we all fighting and dealing with each other instead of trying to uplift or edify each other. It's corruption at its worst. And now it pits the wisdom against the youth. And so they're not going to lean towards that. And understand that the kids now are more perceptive even than 60, 70 years ago. And these are the conversations. These are, right now I can assume 50, 60. These are the people speaking, just like the doctor. She was adamant on saying, oh no, I got my own kids. But all of us, we used to, they said it was a village that raised the children. But there was this man just now that just made the perfect point. He said, if the village is retarded, what does that produce? And there's a retardation in the love, the compassion, and the empathy shared amongst our wisdom, the wisdom of us. So how do they connect with that? And it's not about how you might be able to speak to a person.
Yeah, brother.
You just tell them.
Brother, let me explain something to you. And I'm quite sure I'm older than you are. Let me explain something to you. This is a teaching moment. What we said today is how to approach a young person, whether they're on here or not. There's nothing wrong with speaking to a killer, a drive-by shooter, or snatch and grab, or gangbang. There's nothing wrong with that. Being courtesy.
How do you know you're speaking to them?
Bro, hold it. What I'm telling you. Hold on, brother. Hold it. You're not going to overtalk me, bro. Brother, you're not going to overtalk me. This ain't your first time on this show, brother. This is not your first time.
That's true.
Brother. When you hung up, you called back. I put you right back in the order that you when you hung up. I didn't have to do that.
But no, I listened to.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to listen to me. I'm the host. I'm not just one of them. Okay.
Carry on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Respect now. Now listen. We're learning on here. Now we have different approaches, but the first thing we did say on here, Bill and I, we did agree. Start with your family members first. And I'm quite sure I got some bad seeds in my family too. And they know I love them, but I do not agree how they carrying on in these streets. And that's real talk. I don't endorse that. I don't glorify that. I don't like it. And what I do, since I have their ear, I talk to them with the right tone and everything. First of all, we talk about the village. The village is gone. It ain't retarded. It's not there anymore. We had to create another village. The village is the people. Most people, the average parent in 2024 don't want another adult say anything to their son or daughter, especially if she's sleeping with him and they're not his children. We see that right now today. Date a woman that got some children and you try to come in and say something to him. She'll check you so quick. But she wants you to pay some bills there. She wants you to bring some food in, but she don't want you to say nothing to her children that's not yours. And that's real talk. Now, if any young person out here listening, we love you. There's a set of rules that you're going to have to follow. There's a set of rules as an adult, as we as adults have to follow. We have to respect you. And you have to give respect to get it. Now, I'm not going to go back and forth with no young person on the red line. I'm not even going to argue with him. If I speak to him, he said, what the F you speaking to me for? Guess what? I'm quiet. Because I know where it's going to go. And I'm same as Bill. My demeanor speaks for itself. So you know what? To keep everything down, I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to take that little hit that hit me on the chin as an L, as we call it in the street. And I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to mind my business and leave it alone. That's what I'm going to do.
And like I told my sister, if I see her 11-year-old daughter with 35-man-year-old picking her up, and I'm her neighbor, I'm going to tell her. I told Marcus, if Marcus my neighbor and he's going to work the midnight shift and he got teenagers at his house and he don't know what's going on when he's not there, I tell him one time. Now, if he don't address that situation, that's on him. He can't say I didn't tell him. So when a violent crime break out or some young lady scream rape, he can't say I didn't tell him. As a neighbor, as an adult, that's being the village. That's all I'm saying. When we speak to these young folks, we don't know who we're talking to. We don't know who we're talking to. I'm going to let you talk, 847. Go ahead.
Okay. That's the point. We don't know who we're talking to. However, they've been painted in such a way that we won't even talk to them. We won't even approach.
That's you. That's you, not me. That's you. Speak for yourself.
It's not. I'm saying because I see it every day.
Okay.
And I see it every day. I see it every day. And it's not just seeing it. I live it every day.
Okay.
I speak to everybody. I speak to every black face that I see. And I'm 43. I don't look like a thug. I don't look like a hoodlum more times than none when you see me. I'm well dressed. I look like a conservative young man in a lot of ways. However, nope. Head down to the side, a slight sneer on the face, as if the wisdom is saying, who the fuck is you speaking to? Or why the fuck is you speaking to me? And that's horrible. And more times than none, they will avert their eyes when they see you. It used to be a time and place when we nodded towards each other in acknowledgement. We didn't even have to speak. We nodded towards each other. Head up. What's up? I do that now and don't get a reaction. And I'm doing it. And mind you, I'm in downtown Chicago. I get on that 95th. I ride. I see the youngins. What's up, young? And I don't say what's up, young, and expect them to speak back because I want them to know that I'm acknowledging you. Y'all here, I know what y'all going through. You're homeless more than likely. You've been hungry. You've been up all night surviving. You've been dealing with it. And for me to get
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, bro. How you know they homeless and hungry?
Oh, trust me. Look,
I'm just asking. Same way you ask me how I know they killers and drive-by shooters. So how you know they hungry and homeless?
Because I see the same people consistently.
Okay.
I see a young gentleman. I see a young kid with dreads, light skin. Him and his crew, a dark-skinned kid, a heavy-set kid, and one kid without a leg. They oftentimes on the air, they go from 95th probably up to Roosevelt and then back. They don't go no further. They try to get a little further. You know, they smoking their weed, they sharing their food amongst each other. One girl got on the L, she worked. There was a kid hungry. She was sitting down eating her food, but she still shared her food because she knew the situation. Because they congregate amongst each other because they feel that they have a connection inside of each other. However, we should be the ones connecting with them. We should be the ones setting up resources. We should be the ones that helping them out of this situation. However, they feel alone, more than alone. They feel.
So what are you doing? What are you doing to help them?
So right now, what I'm trying to do is connect with more like-minded people, elderly people. I'm homeless myself and unemployed, mind you, but I still try to do my due diligence and going to speak to the people downtown at City Council to let them know about the situation and the suffering.
No. Answer her question, bro. Because she asked you, what are you doing?
I just answered it. I'm going down to City Hall.
What that's going to do? That ain't going to do nothing, brother. What that's going to do?
Please, sir. Like, wait, I was patient, wasn't I?
Yeah, but I'm saying, what that's going to do? Go ahead.
I didn't disparage anything that you just said, did I?
No, regardless. I'm just asking you.
Did I disparage anything? I'm just saying, did I disparage
Hey, brother, listen, brother. I'm the host. So I'm, no. I can't be patient. I can't be patient. This is my show.
Okay, then let me give an explanation.
This is my show. That's why I asked you. I was asking you to ask.
I don't want my due diligence.
Brother, you're not going to overtalk me, brother. With that aggressive tone of yours. You're not going to overtalk with that aggressive tone, brother. Yeah, you're not in no perfect tone. You're not in no perfect tone.
I'm using an assertive tone.
No. That's an aggressive tone. Listen. Regardless. Well, you're on the wrong show then. You're on the wrong show then, brother. You're on the wrong show. No, brother. You on the wrong show. You on the wrong show, brother. You on the wrong show. You over us.
All right. Sorry about that, people. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Mark,
Bill. Go ahead.
I want to start off by saying this. I ain't never had to earn no respect from no kid or man. My travel
Amen.
go from Chicago to Detroit, all over Michigan, all over Indiana, Ohio, and in most cases, when I see young men, they either address me as OG or old school or what's up, pops, or whatever. But in the beginning, you said, and me and you have discussed this before, all of them are not going to be saved.
I agree.
And what that young man who been on here before and a couple others, you got to, they talk about what they're doing, but you along with the lady from the facility out in Job Corps. Number one, all of those teams that they're encountering and be talked about are trying to get some help. You got a playing field of thousands, hundreds of thousands just in Chicago that's not trying to get no help. But like you say, you got to start somewhere with some kind of communication. If somebody wants some help, that's different than, like you say, you don't know if they are doing drive-bys or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, you've been in the street, you know they're up to something. You can feel it. And you can start with a conversation. I personally wouldn't start talking about school because that turns the bad egg off right off the top. And another thing with Dr. D, going along with what you've been saying, Martin, don't let that one bad egg stop you. Because he in penitentiary now, and no telling how many times he done thought about how many times you helped him and he should have took advantage of it. Please believe he done thought about you while he locked up. He can't do nothing about it now. But I think our main focus is not to forget about the bad egg, but come to realization, if they parents ain't doing due diligence and got no control, it's hard to teach an old dog a new trick until he done been through something.
But let me say this, Bill. Bill,
a few things.
Bill, let me say something.
Hold on, let me just say this right quick, Mike. The concentration is to save the baby, the ones that's 8, 9, 10. I think it should be more energy put into them. But go ahead, Martin. Let me hear
now. You've been listen. We've been in the street. You've been in the street. I've been in the street. I don't know what side of Star you was on, or if you was on in one of them. You know, I know. Who do they recruit? They recruit young people, and them young people get in line. They get in line. Yeah. They don't listen to their parents, but they get in line when Chief so-and-so or 5-star elite, they get in line then. They get in line then. Trust me. They get in line. You what? You might get a mouth shot.
You have never lied.
They get in line. Pumpkinhead, I've seen it. I seen a guy stole a gun from another brother. They beat him with bats, man. I was hearing his bones breaking. I had to stand away. I couldn't even watch it. I seen this with my own eyes. Man, I'll take it back. I didn't see it. I heard it because I turned my back because I didn't want to see it. And you know what type of message that sent to me? These niggas roll serious about this thing. I'm telling you. That's how it was when I was coming out. I don't know what they're doing now. They might just put a bullet in your head and just push you out on the lake, whatever. But, man, them gangs, they were looking for young folks. And them young people got in line. They ruled with fear. With fear. When wartime come along and peace treaty come along and you break that peace treaty, you're going to get dealt with.
you're going to get dealt with. So I know some of these young people.
Please believe you still need them.
Yeah. Listen, that's some of the worst thing they ever did when they locked up all them heads, man. Because guess what? It's that when you cut the head off, everything is going crazy now. It was a time you can go in a certain area and say, hey, man, I got robbed. Guess what? Come back in another 30 minutes. All your stuff be back there. We know who did it. It depends on who you know. But that's who you know. 1, 2, 3. Real quick. Go ahead, 1, 2, 3. I think you're truck driver too. Go ahead, 1, 2, 3.
How you doing, Mark?
Thanks for your patience. Go ahead.
No problem. I understand what everybody's saying as far as talking to these kids and talking to the teens, and that's easier said than done. You step in some of these kids' business, man, they'll knock your head off, man, and that's what most people are scared of. And that's what most people scared of, man. So these people can't even talk to their own kids. So how are we expecting them to talk to everybody else's kids for them? Some of these kids just can't be controlled, man. So it's just different ways that we have to. Different avenues we have to open up in order to be able to communicate with them. Not just catch them in the midst of a crime, but set up something to keep them busy where kind of keep them busy where they won't be able to commit those crimes.
How we going to keep them
doing much as far as
1, 2, 3? How we going to keep them busy if we don't talk to them? Think about it.
And that's true.
Think about it. How are we going to set up something for the young people and we don't say nothing to them? We got to communicate in order to say, hey, man, we got this program over here at such and such church down in the basement. You're welcome to come, man. We got free retreats, bus fare. We got food and all that. We got to say something to. That's the first, brother. That's the first step that we got to do, bro. We have to communicate with the, listen, when I was in church, it was easy to talk to a good person that wasn't bad. You could witness to them and tell them about Jesus. What about the ones that were super bad, that nobody want to talk to them, on drugs, everybody's scared of? They don't want to talk to him about Jesus because they figure it's too many problems, it's too challenging. He might do something to me. They get nervous. So, brother, we have to. The first thing engaging with young people is communication, brother, and it has to be right. It has to be communication. How are we going to say to young people we don't talk to them or don't say nothing to them? We just sit there and let them do everything they want to do. Old timers said it maybe a month ago or so. We got a bunch of young people running our cities and nobody's saying nothing. Everybody act like they're afraid. Nobody want to acknowledge them, say anything. Nobody want to pull somebody to the side and say, listen, brother, I understand what you're going through. Been there, did that. Man, be careful. You get gang rapport. I remember I was on the west side. This is a true story, people. I think I was in the Vice Lord neighborhood. I'm not sure. And one of their buddies had just got killed. They was all in all black. And we were walking through the neighborhood. I think we was looking for a homeless a person was missing or something. And everybody stood. When they seen the gangbangers, they froze, Bill. They froze. You know what I did, Bill? I walked right up to them and shook their hand. I say, bro, we're not here to disrupt what y'all got going. We just here to give encouragement word. We looking for somebody that's missing. And then when I did that, everybody, they was cool. They let down their guards because I didn't know they had just lost a loved one. I walked up to them. It was like 8 or 9 of them. They was dressed in all black. I don't know if they had guns or pistols, what. And I just, with a soft voice, because it wasn't no need us turn around because they hadn't already seen us. So I just came out and said, listen, we here. We're not trying to disrupt what y'all got going on. We here. We trying to help, help look for somebody, and they was cool with it. And they just like, they was very accepting of us. Everybody else came on because we had females and men with us. We didn't fit the stereotype. They probably would have shot us if they seen us coming. But I walked up to and talked to them brothers, humble as I knew how. Was I nervous? Yeah, I was nervous, but I did it.
Right.
I ain't gonna sit like say I'm Superman. I dare y'all to touch. No, I didn't go there with that type of attitude. I went there with a spirit like, hey, bro, we're not trying to, interrupt. Nothing y'all going on. I told them, and come to find out, that they was grieving one of their people that got killed, shot and killed or something. You know, and they had all black on.
What did they do?
And
What did they do?
they didn't do nothing. They listen. They talked to us. They talked to us. Hold on. They talked to us. Now,
I want to say something else.
okay, brother, I'll let you go 1, 2. They talked to us. They listen. If you know anything about gang culture, when they going through and they grieve one thing, they shooting anything ain't move. Coming on their block. They question it. A lot of tension in the air. And it was there, Bill. Everybody else stayed back. I walked over to him by myself and talked to the brothers. They was cool. Because you know how these gang bangers are. They feel like that's their block.
But it's different nowadays. You know, now that years ago when we were growing up, and I say we had Ford, we had Hoover. You know, we had a leader to lead us in the right direction. These kids don't have nobody. It's just they out here, they making up games I ain't never heard of a day in my life. Like, what is that? You know, and these kids are so disrespectful. Now, is it your fault? Is it my fault? Is everybody's fault on this line or on the panel? No, because we didn't raise them. And we also have to keep that in mind too. And of course you want to walk up to them and say, hey, how you doing? Talk to them and not talk against them. And that's so important. I hate talking at people. I don't like that.
But as you being a professional, I would think more coming from you as being a professional that you'd know how to reach people more so than an ordinary person.
I do.
I would think that.
Did you hear? You all didn't hear, but did you hear Pastor Anderson? He just sent 6 people to me today, and they're all teenager boys, and they don't want to see a woman. They want to see men, and I have to send them out to my other therapist. Yeah, I do, and that's what we're doing, and we're tired. That's what you all fail to realize. We need everybody in this. It's not just therapy. We need everybody involved, because these boys, some of them are reaching out for help, and we're giving them the help that they need. But listen to this, you guys. It was 45 people shot this past weekend. What you all gonna think for Memorial Day weekend? That's why I'm trying to reach all the teenagers I can. I am.
By doing what?
Trying my best.
How you trying to reach them? Man, you just said you only gonna be by with them. How you trying to reach Doc D?
I don't. First of all, number one, I work with Dr. Anderson. Nope, you can laugh all day, but Dr. Anderson and I are meeting up Wednesday. I'm gonna be on the west side. I'm going to the police station on Harrison, and we are going to send out flyers to get our teenagers away, you know, have things to do, and we need for them to go seek therapy and everything, to get them off the streets. We're trying to reach as many parents as we can to say, where are your teenagers at? Your teenagers need to be at home at a certain time, period.
Okay.
They're not going by the rule of them being at home at a certain time. Let them be at home. So I have to do that Wednesday, sir. Martin, while you over there talking mess to me, what you doing?
You right here participating in what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm doing. This broadcast.
I love it.
That's what I'm doing. Matter of fact, you helping me doing what I want to do by being on here, talking, discussing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And trust me, I do a lot of things that's not on Facebook. Trust me. I talk to a lot of people. I'm going to funerals that you never see. Now I'm just saying, being honest with you, that you never see. And guess what? One thing can't nobody out there ever say. If you walk up to the crime chaser, I'm going to speak to you. If you speak to me, I will speak to you. I'll shake your hand. I'll bump fists. I'm going to acknowledge you. Whether we agree or not, I'm going to acknowledge. I make it in my mind to communicate with young folks and older people. I do. Now, I'm disappointed at a lot of them. I'm just like you. I'm mad. I'm disappointed, especially some that I know personally. And they still on that, still on that BS. Yeah. But let's get back to 123. Well, 123. I'm tired too. 123. But the work got to go on though. Come on, 123. I'm sorry.
I just want to. I'm gonna just make it quick. Basically, we gotta differentiate make our approach different also. Just because we older don't make us wiser than the younger generation also. We might have been through a few things, but times have changed, and we got to change, and we got to change with the time. And we got to change with the time. I heard one of the brothers say he doesn't have to earn the respect of a younger person. Well, basically, you have to give respect in order to get it with anybody, young, old, or whatever. And that's probably a problem where we're lacking that also. We're not expecting to respect these teens. We're just expecting to tell them what to do instead of guiding them, instead of speaking to them as a respected adult. But go ahead, Martin.
Okay, I got a new call. I'm going to go to the new call. It's 7706.
Let me respond.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
I want to respond to what he said. I didn't say. I did say I don't have to earn respect from no younger people or older. It's just I don't know if it's a blessing. It definitely hasn't been a curse. Never once. The only person that I've ever had any problem with as a young man was one that I fed my nephew. That's the only one. One of my nephews. And Martin, you touched on the subject about these women with their kids. Both times, my sister was mad at me for protecting her because he was cussing her out.
Wow.
And that's crazy. But I don't go around. I'm gonna give any and everybody due respect. But I guess it's just my aura that I get it.
Ain't nothing wrong with
but
that.
I'm definitely gonna give it in return. You know me.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right.
The only
I
one.
totally get what you were saying, brother. I wasn't trying to comment direct. It was just that part of the conversation I was trying to point out. I get what you were saying.
All right. 7708. Come on, my brother. I think that's West Side. Go ahead, my brother.
What's going on? How we doing?
All right. Go ahead, West Side.
I got a problem with something that was said in this conversation.
All right, let's get it, brother. Let's get it on. If it's me, well, let's
said by a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you this, as someone who has worked in schools for most of their professional career, every time I hear this, I know I'm going to have a problem with my coworker. And the phrase that I hear is that you can't save them all. And I absolutely hate to hear that.
Ooh,
because you have to approach this as though you can. First of all, it take more than one person to quote unquote save them. It's not your job to quote unquote save them. You are one of the people along their journey to recovery. So don't think that you gonna save the day off of one conversation. And if you're going in thinking that you're gonna fail every time, if you a stranger and you approaching a young adult and you think one conversation gonna change their whole life, you got some it's unrealistic. You see what I'm saying? But you can, like you were saying earlier, Martin, try to build a rapport. But understand, if you're an adult approaching a young adult, it might seem very weird to them. You might think you're very youthful, but to them, you're their elder, and they really not trying to hear from you, especially if you're trying to approach them just off the street. And so there are some ways that I think we can reach them. But again, you think about like sports, right? Michael Jordan knew he wasn't going to hit every shot, but every shot he think he was going to hit. You got to approach these kids like all of them are salvageable. All of them have something worth pursuing. They have something that they have to offer, and you can't just throw them away just because you can't do nothing with them. And so I think we need to be very careful when we say we can't save them all. That's not our job, but we can give them some tips, some skills, some advice, and we can be consistent with it. Okay, they cursed me out today, but you know what? They talked to me. Tomorrow I'm going to try again. That's what happened when you went to school. If you're a teacher, them kids going to curse you out. They're going to try to swing on you. Their job is to make sure you don't come back the next day. And guess what? You come back the next day, and the next day, before you know it, they're going to be a model student, and they're going to love you. But it's not going to happen immediately. And so anyone that thinks it's going to happen immediately, it's going to be a failure. So just keep that in mind. So one thing I think these youth need is something you got to actually give them something. One thing I've done is if I see a group of youth on the block And if I feel like approaching them, which I don't think all the time is the right approach, I may have some job applications. Hey, I don't know y'all, but this job over here, they hiring. Here goes the paperwork they gave me if y'all interested. And then I'll just walk away. I may leave my number on there. Y'all want to follow up? Y'all looking for some jobs? Just let me know. I keep it very short and brief, and I'll hand them something that they could actually do something with. I'm not going to try to preach to them. I'm not going to try to sit there and assume that they in a certain economic situation, or if they homeless, or if they gangbangers. I'm not going to assume none of that, because that's what white people do. I'm not going to do that to them. I'm not going to be scared of them neither, though, but I'm going to give them something to put in their hand so they can follow up with it. I may come back the next day. Man, y'all check that out? Okay, it's another job out there. Man, how should I dress? How do I get a resume? Okay, well, I know a facility. We can go down here. We can work it out. I got a person I'm going to plug you with, and they're going to help you get your resume together, your cover letter, get you some job readiness clothes, and we can go like that. But you got to go to the facility. You know what I mean? If they got that, they got all type of assistance if y'all want it. And I'll let them take the lead in that if that's what they want to do. But I will let them know that there are resources available. And I just hand it to them, and I won't give them too much conversation. I'm not going to overtalk them. And I'm not going to try to over-identify as though I think I know who they are. Yeah, I may have a child. They may have a child, but I don't know what it's like to have a child at 17. So we got to be careful not to over-identify as well. Just because we think we have similar circumstances, we don't know what they're going through. And we got to be careful approaching them like we know what they're going through. We don't know this. So we just have to be mindful of our own approaches and not assume that we know where they been and where they going and what life circumstances they going through. We got to be careful because it's a delicate situation. A lot of them they just come from different backgrounds. So we just got to be mindful and careful of our own approach. And just be careful if you do approach someone just off the street, you got to be very careful with stuff like that. But I think they all have something worth salvaging. Mm-hmm. And they all deserve someone to take a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. Ain't none of them throwaways. Because that means we failed them. So if you throw your hands up and you say, look, they can't all be saved with shit, excuse my language, but they're you the problem too.
No, we're not the problem. The parents are the problem.
Bro, keep it real.
No, I'm not a man. Right. I'm a woman. That's Bill. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, the Lord haven't been able to save all of us, or haven't. Now,
but you didn't listen to me. That's not the objective.
Yes, I did.
That is not the objective. I say that's not our job to try to save
you. Don't want to
That's
hear.
not our job.
No, you just said you hate to hear somebody. You said you disagree that when you hear somebody say we can't save them all, and it's the truth. It's the doggone truth, but you're not listening.
You think it so you believe it.
People, man.
You think it so you believe it. If you think that, you'll believe that. I can't think that. I can't allow myself to think like that.
That's not true. I got to agree.
I can't allow myself to think how you think it. I can't do it.
Sir.
Hold on, bro.
Okay, let me say this. Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
Let me say this. First of all, when I said and Martin said about opening up the doors and speaking, he said build a rapport. If a rapport means a reoccurring situation, a reoccurring dialect, that don't mean one time. Number one, that's number one. Number two, man, this is part of our problem, man. Everybody want to get in a position and break their hand, patting themselves on the back for what they do instead of coming collectively, whether somebody's right or wrong, and just give your input. And if it makes sense, let's roll with it. That's all my show been about since I've been coming on here.
Let me ask you one question. But
let's keep it real.
Let me ask you one question. How many chances? Tell me how many chances do a child deserve for someone to help them out? How many chances? If you say they can't all be saved, then what's the limit? Give me a number.
Ain't no limit. If it
ain't no limit, don't say they can't all be saved. If it ain't no limit, don't say they can't be saved.
Okay, hold on. Bill, can I chime in on
You might not be saved right now. Yeah. Go ahead, Doc.
But you can
So what's the limit there? Well, how many chances
so
there?
listen to this. You might not have been listening to the show. I said it's a guy on my block. Okay, he was 16. I think he was 15, 16 at the time. And I used to beg him. He dropped out of high school. I said, baby, he don't even know how to read. I said, and I would sit down with him. He would come help me with my garden because I love I love my garden. And he would come help me. And I said, baby, go to school. I went up to Olive Harvey College, got him into alternative school. He got back. He was over here on my block on the south side. He went back to the west side, went to hang with his friend, and then doing a ride. He went in with his friends, and they robbed an off-duty police officer. It's on the news. I'm not lying. It's on the news. You can go and look it up. And this dummy went and robbed her. Now he's in jail. I mean, how much can I take? I was literally in court. I literally turned him into jail. You're not going to rob this police officer, carjack her, and do all this. What do you want me to do? I'm only one person. That's not my child. I'm doing everything that I can. So I don't understand your theory. I did everything.
You didn't hear what I was saying there. You didn't listen to me.
Let me say it, Westside.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let me say this.
That's my point.
Let me say this. I understood what he said. He used logic, people. The logic of what the brother was saying, Westside was saying that, listen, when you approach a person, don't use that mentality. We ain't gonna be able to save everybody, because if we have that mentality, we're gonna lose out. We're gonna give up fast. And I understand what he's saying, and I understand both sides. But that's why I got quiet. I was like, man, the brother got a point here. Because when we shoot a basketball or when we do something, we want to know that we score every time. And it goes into this. The Bible said, how many times we should forgive our brother? 70 times 70. That's a lot of times. So my point is, what the brother was saying was, this is my interpretation. Now, he can correct me if I'm wrong, that we should not approach young people with the mentality of we ain't gonna be able to save everybody. That's the mindset that we should have. We should get out of the mindset of saying we can't save everybody. Get out of that mindset. Because if we had it in our mind,
what I was saying.
That's what he was saying. In other words, all he was doing, Bill, to me, he was challenging our thinking. That's all he was doing. That's how I got it.
Everybody.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that. If you think it, you gonna believe that. If you think it, but see what you didn't. I don't think you really comprehended. I don't even want to say that. What I was also saying was, I don't think it's our job to quote unquote save them. If you look at your childhood, how many adults and elders help to shape you? It takes more than one person. So if you think that it's your job to save them, and you don't even know these kids half the time, you have isolated interactions with them. You're not with them every day, all day. Even if you spend a whole day with them, you're not their parent, and so it's going to take a lot for that to stick. It takes multiple efforts by multiple adults in their life. So if you think that it's your job to save them, again, you've already failed. You failed them by even having that mindset. You shouldn't even think that way. You should think, I think I have something to give this youth. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It's something that adults have told me in childhood that I'm just now starting to understand. So guess what? They don't understand it because when you want them to understand it all the time. It don't always go like that. Sometimes it take a while to register. You might want them to get the information right there and know exactly what to do with it. But they still developing their brain and seeing how it can make sense. It don't always hit them when you want it to hit them. So again, you got to get out the mindset, well, I done did everything I want to do, so he can't be saved. No, you can't be that way.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
You
right. You right about that. The young adults or whoever, they deserve as many chances as they have as long as they got breath in their body. You know,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Dealing with acceptance in reality, you can't make nobody want something that you're trying to present to them. And kind words is a help right now, but that's not the solution. You got to have something tangible. You know,
I just sat there and gave you something tangible, didn't I?
Consequence.
I'm not disputing what you said. I'm just
Okay.
talking.
Right. My fault. Go ahead.
So with like some not just kind words and or suggestions, we got to come up with some job training and different resources that they can benefit and carry them on in life. Prime example, I've in my travels just in the Chicago area, our hoods versus the Latinos and other races, they got staffing groups and temp job services set up in those neighborhoods where people in that area, when they ain't working, they can go there and work they used to call it day labor, work temp jobs until they get hired, and they usually get hired within 30 to 90 days. But here's the thing, that same temp agency got 3 or 4 vans that'll take them out to Romeoville, Bolingbrook, Skokie or whatever, and drop them off at work and take them back to a certain area. That's not happening in our neighborhood.
I agree.
That's not happening.
I agree.
So those are little things and opportunities that we've been denied. Now, the main culprit, like Martin said, the village has been destroyed. Yes, our village has been destroyed. It looked like the pictures that you see over on the Gaza Strip because of what has been dropped in our neighborhoods, from guns or drugs to no opportunity, and what you can get is some liquor and maybe some drugs to sell and some embalming fluid put in your body. That's what you can get. Those are the opportunities that's readily at hand. That's all I got to say.
Okay, good,
Well,
Bill.
I want to say this. I want to respond to that real quick. I think we got to also be careful of comparing ourselves to other groups. We know this country wasn't built for us, and so we don't necessarily have the infrastructure to compete. I could see we both had the same sets of equal things.
Oh, man, what the fuck?
Bill did not compare no group to blacks. He did not do
He just said that. He just talked about the Spanish people and how they got employment. He did. What's he talking about? He just did. Didn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what we need to have for our people.
Right, but what I'm saying is we need to be careful comparing ourselves to other groups like that.
No.
It'd be nice to have those things.
I'm not comparing.
Bill,
wait a minute. All I know is my people deserve everything, any opportunity that is available in this country. My people deserve
definitely.
the same.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But why you say that, sir? Bill, let them talk. Why? Why you say that? Because we've been here all our life. So why?
You sitting there comparing yourself with a group of people who not only have infrastructure here, but also got a country to go back to. And we still working on our lineage and figuring out our connection back with the motherland, and a lot of us, and our whole identity. And so you sitting there comparing yourself with another ethnic group, I don't think it's fair to us. Because guess what? If we did have the infrastructure to pick up our people and take to temp jobs, we would. And so it's not like we don't have the willingness. So I just want to be careful that when we compare ourselves to these other groups and what they got and what they doing, I don't think the black people is lazy and not trying to work like that. If we had the infrastructure, we would do that.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
We don't have it, but they deserve it. I don't care who it is. I don't care what group it is. I don't care what group that's here in America. My people deserve the same opportunity as they got. Give my people the same chance and let us exceed and start letting people really compare themselves to us. Because in the truth of the matter, they symbolize they take what we symbolize and run with it and use it to their advantage. All I'm saying is our people deserve the same thing.
Okay,
that's
so
all
guess
I'm
what?
saying.
So guess what?
No
So guess what? So guess what? Hold on. So guess what? So guess what? So guess what? When you say that, then you can't save them all then. Because if you got that much black pride, then you better have enough pride to say, I'm going to take as many chances to work with this youth. And guess what? If I can't do it, I'm going to throw my uncle at them, the auntie at them. I'm going to throw it. So if you got that much black pride, then you can't say we can't save them all. Right?
Man,
no.
I get what you
lost me.
and Martin saying.
He lost me on that one.
That's the wrong mentality, but you got to be realistic. You might not just say them all in the next 5 years.
If you want the same opportunity.
Hold on. Wait. Listen. Just listen. We might not can save all of them in the next 2 years, but the same one that turns the opportunity down in the next 2 years, it might take you 5 years to get it right. You talking about somebody that's been in these streets and have been in penitentiary myself. I done made a lot of mistakes and didn't have to. And didn't take advantage of the opportunities that.
So so the other day I heard Martin on the thing, right? The other day I heard Martin on his live, right? He talking about how some of the migrants, it's the woman and the man out there, how the woman stick about her man. How many of the Spanish people, so you want to talk about them, you brought them in the conversation, how many of them say you can't save them all with their own people? Do you hear them say that? Do you hear them talk like that about their people?
They get $9,000. They get $9,000.
Do you hear them say that? Do you hear any other group of people say we can't save them all? Do you hear any other group of people say we can't save them for their own people? Who else do you hear say that?
They get $9,000.
You ain't trying to hear that.
Okay,
you ain't trying to hear that.
Sir,
what other group of people do you hear say about their own people that they can't save them?
It's not about that. It's like,
yes, it is.
When's the last time you can hear? You heard that black people get $9,000 and
you changing the narrative right now.
No,
that's called deflection.
They wouldn't be here, sir. They wouldn't be here if they wouldn't get that money.
What other group of people do you hear talk about their own people like you talk about black people?
Okay, let's go past that part. Can I say something real quick? I don't think it's the fact that you can't save them all. Some of them don't want to be saved. Now you can save your whatever parts of them are still good. The fact of the matter is some of them don't want it. That's it.
Amen.
You teach yourself. Some people come to that conclusion before they even try to work with it.
Like the brother I was helping.
Bruh.
That brother I was helping, I was in court crying for him, and that's not my child.
That was an isolated situation. That's an isolated situation.
But it's still a situation. It's still a situation.
And I still wouldn't throw him away. I still wouldn't throw him away.
And I didn't. He write me every week, and I respond to him. I did not throw that brother away. He's only 19 years old.
I'm starting to feel like, bro, you done came on here to poke holes in Mind Show and people on the panel.
That's what you want to think.
Clearly, we trying to come up with solutions and ideas, and we said the problem starts at home, but we as building the village, we said let's start with our own, your own, not only your own kids, start with your sister kids, your nephews, your nieces, your little cousins.
That's right.
But you got to keep it real about this, man.
Nah, you was good at first.
And just point the fingers. Nah. coming to point fingers ain't the answer to this whole situation, and that's part of our people problem.
We need some
everybody
accountability.
want to be everybody want to be the chief. Everybody's trying to break their hand, patting themselves on the back.
I don't know what you're hearing.
My question is to him. Hold on. My question is to this man. What do you want out of this? Because you're homeless. You don't have nowhere to stay. What are you doing for the community?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't want to make this a personal thing. I could speak there, and like the gentleman said, I could pat myself on the back. This is not about me. So I'm not going to change this conversation to it being personal. I'm not going to go there. I see what you're trying to do, but I'm not going to go there. But what I am doing is challenging the black people on this panel and saying that y'all need to be careful what you say, because if you, as a man speaking, so as he thinks. So if you talk that way, you think that way. And so if you're already defeated before you even interact with these youth, then we don't need y'all working with them anyway. Y'all not the ones that need to work with them.
Deep.
If you already gave up on them.
Right now.
Well,
there's a person that's homeless right now.
Okay, so and these.
No, he's not homeless, Dr.
This
D.
is the person who was working. Now, Martin, you ain't got to go there.
Okay.
This is the person that was working with that youth that's in jail right now, sitting calling people homeless, and then this is the adult. This is the elders we got to look up to. Look how she's talking, y'all. Come on now.
Now
this is the elder. We supposed to. You're an elder, right?
I work with my kids. My kids getting it right.
Calling people homeless.
Right. No. I work with my kids, and not only
Look
do
how
I
you
work
talking.
with them, I have 35 therapists.
You say you can't say no. You're calling me homeless. You're calling me broke.
Work with my kids.
I would want the youth to look up to you.
You the one said you were homeless, and you over here going in on me and Bill because Bill said that we can't help everybody, and we cannot help everybody.
You are not listening.
We cannot help everybody.
I have never said anything regarding my living status whatsoever.
Yes, you did.
No,
and you
that wasn't him, Dr. Davis.
That.
That was another guy, Dr. D.
Okay, well,
that wasn't him.
Was
that wasn't him, Dr. Davis. I'm sorry.
Don't go in on Bill on that because that's wrong. And Bill and I out here doing what we have to do, and I'm taking care of these kids. Like I said, Pastor Edison, he done sent me sick. I'm not taking them. I sent them to my other therapist. We doing everything that we can to help these kids. What are you all doing? Are you all is blah, 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 talking? We're doing everything we can to make sure these children are getting it together. That's all I'm saying, regardless of what. That's what we're doing. And I'm not even seeing the boys. I'm seeing the girls. And we're doing everything we can. You all seen I have Pastor Anderson, Dr. Anderson on tonight. And my other doctors was on tonight. They just didn't say anything. They are on here helping these children. We trying to keep these kids off the street. So while you all try to get on here and discredit Bill for his opinion, Old Timer, Marcus, and anybody else, listen, we coming from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s. You know, you all are young. We done been through this stuff. We're trying to help y'all generation because we done made it. I'm trying to get everybody to see. Let me take this next fan off for me. I'm sorry. We done made it. Period. We all half of 100. Get where we at. We're trying to help this generation. Period.
Listen to how you talking right now. Listen to how you talking right now. I would want a youth to speak with you. Respectfully, I would not want a youth to speak with you. You done seen it all. You done done it all. You older than there. I would not want a youth to talk to you the way you're talking right now.
Listen to you. Listen to you. Listen to you.
Well,
Let me tell you something.
My young babies love me. My babies love me.
Let me reiterate something. This new way, the soft paddling, all of that has not worked. What my parents and grandparents and great grandparents did seemingly has worked. So why would we keep moving forward with Generation X in the same manner that acceptable or feels so good? Our grandmothers and grandfathers had and parents had some harsh words for us. And if you look at the percentage of crimes that's committed within our black race, and especially heinous crimes, and the drug usage and everything is all of the negative part. The old way seemed to work way better. So my father told me something years ago, rest his soul. He told me, he say, hey man, when it comes to these jobs, politicians or whatever, the powers that be, white people, when they put out a plan, they gonna do whatever it takes to make it work. Whether it's long, they're gonna have a short-term plan and a long-term plan. The short-term plan might be 25 to 50 years. He say, and no matter how bad it looks for them or what they predicted, they're gonna stick with whatever it is. Now, we done stuck with whatever it's been and accepting everything that's been thrown our way.
Okay. Well,
we can't keep moving in the same direction. We got to move in a different direction.
I agree.
I want to say this too. Listen, brother, I welcome challenges. Trust me, that's how we're gonna be able to grow. So tonight, he challenged my thinking. I got quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I won't be using that word. We can't say mall no more. I'm not gonna believe that. I'm just me personally. I'm not, I'm not gonna be used. I'm not going in the mindset when I help somebody, because it ain't just only gonna be me. It's gonna be other people that do it as well. The Bible said one plant, one water, and God gives the increase. So what Dr. D did to that young man, helped him out. Now, when he get out of prison, it might be somebody else come along and help him out and get him to where he need to be in life. So as an individual, as the brother said, we're not going to be the only ones in some of these people's lives that affect them. It's going to be other adults too. So it's going to be a collective. This is what I was interpreting what he was saying. I wish y'all would have listened. I don't think he came over here to attack. I don't believe that. I know his character. So I don't believe that. He was just challenging our thinking as a young man. And we welcome that. I welcome that. Challenge my thinking. I'm willing to learn. I'm a student. I'm learning from the womb to the tomb. He challenged my thinking tonight. So when I go to a young person, I won't have that mindset. Oh, nigga, I help you already. You don't want nothing. You ain't ready. I won't have that mindset. Maybe somebody that's more influenced than me or more wiser than me can come along and help him or her. So, brother, I thank you for challenging me. You challenged my thinking tonight because I love challenges. So I'm not, when I go into
what I was trying to do.
Yeah, when I go into talking to these young folks, I won't have that mindset. Can't say more. Won't have that mindset. I can't say you're right. Can't none of us save them. We not in the business of God. God saves them. All we could do is encourage them and point them in the right direction, because we can't save nobody. Period. And thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I accept that challenge. I'm gonna accept it tonight. And I understand outside the way me and Bill think. I understand that too. But this new way of thinking, I got to put that, I'm challenging myself. So now when I help somebody, I won't be too quick to give up on them. And you said a point. You said something else challenged me. How many times we help them, and what's the limit that we should stop helping them before they get it? Then you said something else. When we tell these young people something, they might not be able to comprehend and proceed. You gave an example. You said when you was a shorty, you probably didn't say, I might not say the right word. Older people have told you something. Now you an adult. You just not getting to fully understand what they was telling you. Am I right? Now correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not gonna put no.
That's right.
Right.
Because years later, I didn't get it when they wanted me to get it. I'm just getting it now.
All right. So and And I'm, hey, Keenan Nicole.
It go the same way for the youth.
Right.
It go the same way for them. Sometimes we want them to get the information and understand it and comprehend it the way we want to, but it don't always register immediately. It just don't always happen that way.
And you know what they're right.
They can understand TikTok.
Yeah. But you know what they Doc, you know what it remind me of? When I was in the church, right? And I used to witness to people. I wouldn't let them say one word in. You the devil, you going to hell. I wouldn't let them, but I'm trying to help them to get to Jesus, point them to Jesus, but I won't let them say anything. So I was super aggressive. So in other words, I'm saying now, I learned in life as I got older, when you're trying to point somebody in the right direction, give them a chance to express themselves, listen to them, try to be a good listener. I'm just saying for myself. That's what I practice.
I get it.
That's why I'm able to sit on here for 2 hours with you guys. And it may not agree with none of you, but I'm gonna listen. That's all. I'm just me personally. You know, I like Bill said, we don't claim on this panel to know everything. I don't know everything. I tell y'all, man, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So I don't want to, hey, brother, I thank you for challenging my thinking. So I won't have a new mind. I have a new mindset of saying, hey, when I go and talk to somebody, hopefully I could score and give them something, or it'll sit with them, it'll rest with their spirit. That's me. That's me. So I just, man, that's the way I took it. Now I didn't take it no other kind of way. But Keenan Nicole, come on real quick.
Hey, panel. Hey, Martin. How's everybody?
Good.
Hey, baby. Okay, baby. All right, so quick backstory, right? I'm 48 right now, and I'm okay to say I'm 48. When I was a teenager, right, I entered high school. Martin, I was bad. You understand? Bad. I'm talking about as bad can get. I had people, neighbors, some family members, oh, you're going to be okay. I mean, they was ministering. So when I heard that young man speaking, I felt him, because even though all these people had all this faith and this confidence in me, I'm like, man, whatever. I ain't trying to hear what they talking about. You know, but guess what? One day I sat down. You know, sometimes when that light bulb come on, it's like I start thinking about all that stuff that all them different people said, and it correlates right now today, because guess what? It was not one person. So you are absolutely right. What Dr. D did for that young man, he needed in that moment, when he come home, it's going to be another Dr. D and another one and another one. And guess what? That young man is going to be okay. Because sometimes we have to get to the bottom in order to come back up to the top. And I feel him 100%. And we also, oh my God, we also have to be very careful with the words that we say about young people. Again, I said I'm 48, right? I promise. I remember some of them other people that was not so kind to me. I could tell you 5 people right now who said what they did, but guess what? I said, you know what? I'm going to be better than everything that they said I was going to be. And now those same people, I speak, but I keep it moving. And I'm not none of what they said I was going to be. You understand? But you got to be careful, because I was that one where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be okay. Some people, they let that stuff get to them, and, you know, it overtakes them. You have people that kill themselves. You have people that get on drugs. I mean, all kind of stuff. We got to be careful. That's why we as people who have kids, nieces, nephews, we got to talk to them about bullying. Hey, that's not cool. Because even though you just having fun in a moment, you don't know the long-term effect of what that's going to do to that person that you so-called are bullying. You understand? So we just got to be careful. This one touched me real good. And I mean, when I say I felt everybody on the panel, I absolutely did. I felt everybody, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents. That's all.
Thank you, Keenan Nicole. And people, let me just say something for the future references. You know, I welcome different opinions and different ideas on this platform, even if they don't register what I'm thinking or saying, because I don't know everything. And it's going to take all of us, it's going to take all of us to work on these young people. It's going to take us, I might have some that Bill can't get, and Bill might have some that I can't get. It's going to take all of us. Bill got some experience that I've never experienced. He's been locked up. You know what I'm saying? He did hard time, so he know what it's like to hit rock bottom. And I appreciate your experience, Bill. Don't think I don't, because we need people like you. We need men to stand up and give us their experience. And like I said, Bill, I understand everything you say, my brother, but what worked for us may not work for them. It worked for us. It's a proven fact that it did work, because we are where we are right now today. But these young folks, they passive, they saw the Bible said that they're going to be wiser but weaker. And that's prophesied in the Bible. The young people should be wiser. They're going to be wiser, but they're going to be weaker. And the brother said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what words are powerful? We can speak life, or we can speak death. The Bible said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think you're going to fail, you're going to fail. If you think you're a loser, you are a loser. Why you think we fighting against this oppression? It squeezes all the hope out of us. And why you think I said I love being black? Basically, that's what I'm saying is to fall in love with your black self. Fall in love with your black self. And we know we come in 7 to 8 different shades. You got to fall in. When you lose hope, Keena Nicole said you're gonna want to kill yourself. You want to go get on drugs. You're gonna do a lot of things. When you love yourself, people will see it. It comes all out on you. I touched so many lives, and I'm not to brag. This ain't about me. And listen, but when you guys on here with me, we doing it together. We doing it together. On this podcast, we reaching people. We don't know who's watching. We don't know how deep this podcast gonna go. We don't know how deep it's gonna go. Some young person probably listening right now, sitting with his parents, listen to us talk. And we can make a change, people. So we got to change our new mindset. When we talk to our young people, we tell us, hey, we can't save you, but we can give you some information to help you out best as we can. And Keena Nicole said it. When that young man get out of jail, did Dr. D help? It's going to be somebody else's turn to help him. Dr. D did all what she could. She tired now. Maybe somebody else going to pick up the mantle.
That's true.
She said it, and she had that right to be tired. She cried with you, had to turn your butt in, and you writing letters. She responded to you. Hey, she did all that she possibly could do right now. It's somebody else's turn to help them get to the next level. So that's how we're going to look at things now. That's how I'm going to look at it. It's just like I'm in a junk business. They said another man's junk is another man's treasure. What you call junk, it may be treasure to another man. That old dirty mattress that you had for 10 years and you put out in the alley, hey, listen, somebody come along and see it out of the alley when it's dark, they take and put it, bring it in their house because they would sleep on the floor. You don't know that. That mattress was a blessing to them. We don't know how people living, what they going through. So we got to be real careful of the words that we say out of our mouth. I'm even guilty sometimes myself. Sometimes I say, Lord, help my tongue. Help me to bridle this tongue here. Because sometimes I want to latch out. And I just got to be quiet and just listen. I'm learning, people. I'm learning. I ain't got it all together, but I'm learning. I'm getting there. Be patient with me. God's still working with me. Still working with me. So those are my closing words. So anybody else can say they're welcome to talk. I think we got one more person on here. Yeah. 6557. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't even see you. Is that you? Hello, caller?
Martin, that's King.
I'm sorry, King. My man. I'm sorry. You talk. But did you want to say something real quick? Because I'm gonna go through everybody and we can just close it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. One other thing that came to my mind. When I lived in my old neighborhood, 73rd and Greenwood, right?
Right.
There was a lot of guys over there, young guys, gangbangers. I didn't care about none of that. I'm not telling anybody to do what I did, but guess what? Simple thing. Hello. Hey, how y'all doing? Martin, I told you this before, and I mean, my right hand to God. Them guys would see me pulling up, getting my groceries out the car. Them same ones that I just said, hey, how you doing too? They would come to my car, get my groceries, bring them to my door. A lot of times, all they want is a, hey, how you doing? Sometimes you can't reach them, and that's hey. But guess what? Try. Hey, just like you said, if they give you pushback or whatever, at least you tried. You know what I'm saying? At least you tried. There's no harm in speaking. I learned that at a very early age. You might be the reason that young person decides, hey, I'm not going to hurt nobody today because guess what? That person said hey to me. That person acknowledged me. So just think about that, and then I'm going back on mute, as Dr. D say.
All right. Go ahead, 7708. We go to you, your last comments and all that.
Well, I appreciate the platform, and I ain't come on here I knew it might ruffle some feathers, but I
you did say that before you got said. I mean,
I did before I said anything.
But hey, you took a shot at me, but I understood. I humbled myself and I listened to you well. I said, okay, I understand what he's saying. Go ahead.
Well, the one thing about you is you my elder, but we learn from each other. So one thing that I think is beautiful about you is you get information and knowledge from everywhere. You don't think someone too young to learn something from. You don't think someone too old. And you're continuing to grow. Your mindset, your approach, and I learn from you. And so we can't be so stuck in our mindset and our ways to where we're not willing to learn things. Like you said, Martin, I'm learning new approaches to how to do things. The old way might have been the old way, but now we have to be willing to adapt, I think, but still stand firm in who we are and the things we believe in. But I remember we used to do this exercise when I was back in grad school, and they tell you to count how many times you have negative thoughts in your mind versus the positive thoughts. And a lot of people have more negative than positive thoughts. And we need to be mindful of the negative thoughts we tell ourselves about Black people. Sometimes we're our worst enemy because we just think the worst out of each other. So we just got to be careful how we think and how we speak, so we're not defeated before we even try to approach them. Right. It might be somebody that's not appropriate to talk to the youth. Like I've met some very intellectual people, but they can't teach it all. Like teaching is an art form. And so just because you're smart don't mean that you can teach and you can build rapport with kids. And so I think it makes sense to have the right people in front of these kids to have the highest probability of reaching them. But if I can't reach you, I'm gonna throw my uncle to you. I'm gonna get a big brother. Like it may not be me that can reach them, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna consistently see who I can get. I'm not gonna give up on them. I'm gonna constantly be on them. And if I can't reach them, it'll be someone else. But we can't leave these kids behind because I think that'll be ultimately the true defeat of our whole race if we just say we can't help them and we just pretty much discard them like trash. I think that's very it could be very self-defeating to think that way and do that. So appreciate y'all listening to me tonight.
Okay, Brother Bill, your turn.
I think it was somewhat of misunderstanding
That's all.
about all of them can be saved. You're supposed to never say never, but the reality is, and I know from my own experience, I had all the opportunity in the world, but didn't take it until after I failed and hit rock bottom, as you might say. And it didn't take. It wasn't one time that I got low all the other times. When I went to penitentiary, I hit rock bottom. But I understand using the mindset, but there's a reality to it also. Our focus, to save, hopefully we can save our whole race. But the thing of it is, you have to concentrate on the ones that you are helping. If this show only was at this point, I'm not saying, because I believe it's going to be some real big things come out of this show for our people in the very, very near future with opportunities and all this other stuff. But the thing of it is, long as we trying and we presenting opportunities or whatever, or a word, right now is a good word and advice. If we save one, we doing better than what we was yesterday.
I agree.
That's all I got to say.
Marcus.
Amen.
Then you, Doctor, you last.
I think that it was kind of misunderstood. I think that when people use the term "we can't save them all," they're making themselves. It's some of us who think that we can save all of these kids, and so we overwork ourselves, and then we get mad when we can't save all of them. Then we give up on saving the ones right in front of us. So I think that when people say we can't save them all, they're just protecting themselves mentally from trying to save the whole world. We all have a desire where we want world peace and we want to stop all the wars and we want to save everybody, but we're not Jesus Christ. Only God can save all of us. But we try to save the ones that's right in front of us, and once we teach them, they reach out to the other ones that we can't reach. It's a chain reaction. It doesn't stop. It doesn't mean that we're saying that we cannot possibly save every youth. It can be done. If you can save the ones that's in front of you, they're going to reach out to the ones that you can't reach, and they're going to save them, and then they're going to save, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Another thing that we are missing in our community is we're competing against each other. We need to quit competing against each other, and we need to work together as a community and realize that we have this issue. We have some young people that's going to rebel. In our culture, we tend to glorify the bad boy mentality, the bad girl mentality. It's all on TV. It's all in the music. And that is affecting the way some of these kids think also. But I believe that the solution is that we all need to come together, both the elderly and the young people. We all need to start listening to each other. Some elderly people tend to overtalk young people and don't really listen to them. They'll listen to them for a few minutes, but they won't hear them all the way out. And then some people, they get emotional. They've had a bad experience with young people, and they bring that bad experience to the table when they're talking about saving young people.
Okay, Dr. D. Your last one.
Well, I agree with the young man. I do. We have to listen to him, and we do. We listen to him. But I also want you to keep in mind that we have a No Child Left Behind Act that started, I don't know, I cannot quote it if it started in the 80s or the 90s, but it was a mess. Yeah, we can't hit our children, we cannot do this, we cannot discipline our children. And the thing of it is that it's not about, okay, I'm going to rephrase my sentence, I'm going to stop. We cannot save everyone, regardless of what you think. You cannot. Because you have demons sitting in people. And I done been with so many children and other children that is just like, whoa. You know, you just sit there and listen to them like, wow. You know, you just sit back like, ooh. That's why I was on the set for Bill tonight, because it's like he's telling the truth. You know, you don't sit there and this little boy go and shoot somebody and then, oh, we got to make an excuse for him. I told you all maybe 4 times tonight. I helped this young man. I know he's sitting in federal prison right now. I know he is. He write me, I'll write him back. You know, and I helped him as much as I can. I couldn't save him. And it hurts my feelings to this day. I'm over it. Trust me, I'm over it. But I tried my hell to get him to be on the right path. So you try, but sometimes you just, they're gonna do what they're gonna want to do. Period. So we all gonna do what we do. If you help the community, that's great. You know, things have changed. This is not the 70s, 80s, or 90s anymore. This is 2024. This generation thinks so different from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Even the early 2000s, they think different. Now, Martin mentioned that I raised my niece and nephew. First of all, my niece and nephew is 34 and 35 right now. That's even from a different generation. And, what else can I say? I have my therapist helping all. Pastor Anderson came on tonight, you guys. Look, he sent me 6 people today. I'm not seeing them. I have my therapist, all them seeing them, all the males. Man, it's rough out here. We have a lot of mental health issues going on, and I want you all to keep that in mind. That until we get this mental health issue going on, we're going to continue to have a problem. This past weekend, we have 45 people that died. Now, what's going to happen this weekend for Memorial Day? And I'm praying for everyone to be safe. But, come on now. Seriously. And that's all I have to say. I agree with Bill. I even agree with the young man to a degree. I agree with him to a degree. He needs to get some more experience on his belt before he can mess around with a building. And even you, Mr. Martin,
but you know what?
I get what he's saying.
Dr. D, let me stop you right there. It's not experience. The man gave us challenge our thinking to a new mindset. First of all, we're not going to be the only ones influencing these young people. It's going to be other adults that's going to come along and help these young people. So, I mean, just like we kept saying earlier that you helped that young man as far as you can help him. You couldn't, you felt like you couldn't save him, but it's going to be another person that come along that might get him to the point where you was trying to get him to. So, I mean, I'm just use a little logic. That's all. We just challenging our thinking. And I know experience, it trumps a lot of things. I know, but what's right is what's right. Challenge our thinking. He gave us a principle. If we believe that we can't do something, we can't do it. Our mind is not going to allow it. That's the type of mind that we have. So we have to believe. Like the lady said, she said at the gala, she said, if you dreaming, and if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming high enough. And I understood that. That's that thinking. So the brother came on here to challenge our thinking. So take it as that way. He's challenging our thinking on a lot of things. And I'm going to take it as that way, take it as no disrespect and all that. But he right. So when I talk to somebody, I'm going to have a new mindset that I can help this brother, that I can help this sister. I might not be the only one. They might not get it when I give it to them, but it might take somebody a long lifeline to come behind me and get it. Remember, one plant, one water, and God gives the increase in that order. That's an order right there. Dr. D, you planted the seed in that young man. Somebody's going to come along and water, and God going to give him the increase in that order. That's all I have to say. I understand.
Might be in jail.
Yeah, it might be in jail because a lot of brothers. Look at Malcolm X.
He's in jail.
Went in jail. Yeah, no, that he might get his increase while he in jail. That's what Bill was saying. Look at Malcolm X. Came out. The buddy he came out with a new mindset. Hit the ground running. And that's what we want to do. We want to challenge our thinking tonight. So my thinking has been challenged. I accept the challenge. I'm going to take it. I'm going to think better. The Bible said, wherever your treasures are, that's where your heart is. So if you think money, 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 that's where your heart is. If you think family, 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 that's where your heart is. Whatever you think, wherever your treasures are, that's where your heart is. Other words, break it down layman's term. Whatever you put your energy at, that's where your heart is. If it's in sex, if it's being slick, if it's being in crime, all day and all with all your might, that's where your heart is. So if I break it, I'm just breaking that scripture down. So
That's how it is. And we all doing a great work on this panel. I know that. You know, I know that. So, hey, I believe in you guys. We might not agree on things, but listen, we helping folks. Tonight, somebody hearing us tonight, they're going to hear this maybe 2 years later or 3 years later, and it's going to help somebody. It's up in the air now. It's up in the air right now. We may not be out there passing out job leads. We may not be on a red line and say, hey, come follow me, talk to me, but we on here together talking. And maybe this video, this podcast can go to a place that we never thought it would go. Somebody may take a clip, a snippet of this video. Or where we couldn't go. Somebody may take a snippet of this video and it might go viral and help somebody. It's possible, people. It's very possible. Trust me. And this is a school of no fools. So I appreciate the young man. I appreciate him. I appreciate Bill. I appreciate you, Dr. D, and Keenan Nicole and all that. I ain't throwing no jabs at nobody. I appreciate all of y'all. Just pray for me as I pray for you. And, you know, we got to get through this thing together. Because God put us down here for a reason. Ain't nobody got to listen. Nobody can do it all by themselves. Trust me. It takes, we always say take a village. Yeah, that's right. It's going to take it. You know what I'm saying? All of us got experience in our own way. None of us look like what we've been through. And that's why when y'all see me get quiet, that means I'm listening and I'm processing the information, what's going on here. So for a while on here, I got real quiet because I wanted to listen and process this information. And a lot of times when I don't understand, I ask a question. That's what I'm learning. So thank y'all so much. You already know what this is. This is live, uncut, and what
it is.
Live, uncut, unedited.
Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
And I
love being
all right. Peace out, y'all. Peace out. Let me try to. All right. End stream.